have kicked off already. Andrews and Southside Christian have already kicked off. We have several games that are already rocking and rolling on a Friday evening. We got a lot to get to on the program. We'll recap what happened last week. I guess the big story coming out of last Friday night, Mr. Campbell, was the fact that Dutch Fork had Oceanside Collegiate had their down goes Frazier moment, which led to a new number one team in 5A in this state.
Mm-hmm. And doesn't happen often in that classification.
Doesn't happen often. I'm going to speak well of that team that's number one. It's okay. So I do the You're My Our Darlington Falcons thing.
Yes.
I suppose
long
for
time bit.
The next 30 minutes, it's going to be You're My Our Irmo Yellow Jackets.
With a correction. You're My Our number one Irmo Yellow Jackets.
Okay. So I just want to make sure, and I have to be careful when I talk about Irmo right now because of present company that's here and you'll be hearing from in a little bit. I want to make sure I
may or may not have some special guests in the studio.
May or may not. Not an otter. That was last week.
Yes. Yeah, I can't confirm. Human beings, not an otter this time.
If you missed that, you can just go back on the YouTube page and watch that. That's some good viewing before you get into your high school football viewing and before you get into your college football viewing tomorrow.
Well, anytime Ollie makes an appearance, yes.
It's worth your time.
He's a celebrity.
We do have a new top 10 across the state, and as we wait for some of these scores, as the scoreboard is having a difficult time refreshing, not understanding that some games started at 6 tonight.
Boo.
Let's go through, as our good friend Tommy Moody told me, don't make them wait on the rankings. The Irmo Yellow Jackets are the number one team in Class 5A. They sit at a record of 5-0. They are still in the undefeated club. 18 first-place votes, followed by Northwestern. They sit at number 2. Dutch Fork fell 2 spots. I find that fascinating. They're 4-1. 3 first-place votes. That's it. That's all your first-place vote getters. Dutch Fork 3, Somerville 4. James Island wraps up the top 5. Burns is 6. Dorman is 7. Greenwood 8. Ridgeview 9. Gaffney 10. Ridgeview's got a big game against Westwood, who is receiving votes. The following teams are also receiving votes: T.L. Hanna, White Knoll, Sumter, Greenville, Westwood, Stratford, Indian Land, and Catawba Ridge. Indian Land off to a very good start this year. Keep an eye on the Warriors of Indian Land. Worth your time. Burns is number 6. They're hosting number 7, Dorman, tonight. Trey Segarra, the running back for Burns, will be in Columbia tomorrow night on an official visit to the University of South Carolina. If you haven't heard, the Gamecocks host the Wildcats tomorrow in a must-win game.
They do.
Class 4A, the South Point Stallions are the number 1 team with 18 first-place votes. Josevian Currents would be the name that you know from that team. South Florence is 2. North Augusta at number 3. They're the first undefeated team in 4A that's ranked. They're Seneca 4. Bishop England, the battling Bishops of Bishop England, led by Coach Logan Hall, wrap up the top 5. AC Flora falls to number 6 after falling last week to South Point in a game they kind of let get away from them after about the second quarter. Didn't work out well for Roper Winsky. Camden is hosting Drea tonight. That's going to be a great game. Camden trying to continue to roll.
They had a sloppy game.
Yeah. Had a sloppy game against Ridgeview a couple of weeks ago. I think it was 4 turnovers in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. And by the way, a note on Ridgeview. Ridgeview has either scored a defensive or special teams touchdown in every single game they played this year.
A hard trend to continue throughout 10 games, but they're about gone halfway through the season while doing so.
They're about 50% of the way there. So Camden is 7, Daniel is 8, Gray Collegiate is 9, Bluffton is 10, Midland Valley, Hilton Head, Lower Richland, who we'll hear from their head coach a little bit later as well, Wilson and Hartsville receiving votes. In Class 3A, BHP 5-0, the Bears, 13 first-place votes, followed by Woodruff. Newberry is on the road tonight at Saluda. A big game for Saluda to try to spring an upset. Oceanside up to number 4 with 4 first-place votes. Mountain View Prep at 5. Loris at 6. Dillon, Orangeburg, Wilkinson, Marlboro County, and Swansea makes an appearance in the top 10. They sit at 5-0.
Good for Swansea. Look at that.
Ranked number 10. Again, these are rankings. If they are power ratings, you might have Swansea a bit higher. Powdersville, Christchurch, Fox Creek, and Southside Christian all receiving votes. In 2A, Central High is receiving every single first-place vote, all 21 of them. They're number 1, followed by Strom, Thurman, Fairfield Central, Clinton, and the Hurricanes of Hampton County at number 5. Batesburg, Leesville at 6, Sherrall 7, Saluda, there it is, the number 8 team in 2A, hosting the number 3 team in 3A. Timberland at 9, and Philip Simmons at 10. And in Class 1A, Abbeville is number 1 with 12 first-place votes, followed by Bamberg-Ehrhardt. Bamberg-Ehrhardt, number 2, has a big matchup tonight at Hunter-Kinder-Tyler, ranked number 6. Cross is 3, Ladd is 4, Ware Shoals wraps up the top 5 there. Johnsonville, the Flashes, Carvers Bay is 8, Louisville is 9, and the Fighting Tommy Suggses of Lamar, also known as the Silver Foxes, are number 10 in Class 1A. So there are plenty of teams that are hosting big-time matchups tonight across the state. Some of those have already gotten started, as we mentioned just a little while ago, and we're continuing to try to refresh those as we get it. Coach Marlon Taylor from Lower Richland High School joined us earlier this week to talk with us about their season. I've got a note for you here, Mr. Campbell, on Lower Richland that I mentioned to him, but I feel like I can't bury this stat for much longer. Lower Richland opened the season with a loss to Lugoff Elgin on the road. They had 4 opportunities in the red zone and scored 0 points in those 4 tries. 0. None. That might change a game. Here's the biggest thing, though. Since that loss, Lower Richland, the Diamond Hornets, have held their opponents to a combined 27 points in 4 games and are on a 4-game winning streak and are 4-1 going into tonight's game, hosting the Crestwood Knights that Mr. Campbell affectionately refers to as the
Fighting John Morant.
The Fighting John Morant. Again, not a lot of scores rolling in across the state. Games just getting underway. Games haven't gotten underway in some areas, and we're already experiencing some lightning delays in others. So, again, weather, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Weather will play a factor tonight and probably next week, too. Just gonna
looking at forecasts and some things that may or may not be coming this way.
Things don't look great if you're trying to avoid a lot of rain. Bill hits us on Twitter, by the way. Hillcrest is at Greenwood tonight. Greenwood having to bounce back from that loss to T.L. Hanna. T.L. Hanna likes to run the ball. Do you know what Greenwood doesn't do a good job of?
Stopping the run.
Stopping the run. They've given up almost 1,000 yards this season on the ground. In the last 2 games combined, it's been over 500. 500 yards of rushing surrendered in 2 games. You talk about a recipe for undoing a really good offense that you have? It's when you allow the other team to do this.
Run the ball.
When you allow the other team to run the ball at will, which, again, we'll get into later with multiple games across multiple levels of football. When you allow teams to do that, it establishes balance. It allows quarterbacks to get into a rhythm. Not a lot of pressure on them. They can go make plays. And all of a sudden, you're sitting there looking up in a game that you dominate every statistical category but that one.
That one prolongs games, too.
If you're on Twitter, go back and look at every single game. Greenwood dominates almost every statistical category except the rushing yards.
It's a bad Achilles heel to have. There are certain Achilles heels you can have that might not be something that keeps you from winning at the end of the season. That one can be one where you run into the playoffs, you run into a team that's got a running back that can carry the ball 25 times a game and pick up 100 yards on their own without it, and you let them run for 200 plus. There's too many teams in that classification that can run the ball well enough. That can end your season prematurely.
If you can't run the ball or can't stop the run, once we get to Thanksgiving, if you make it that far, let me stop there.
Right, yeah, you have to make it that far.
Once we get to November, you're putting yourself in bad situation after bad situation, playing in quote-unquote cold weather in South Carolina. And by cold weather, I mean it's like 60. But
it's cold for some.
Cold for some, not for others. Some people are still in shorts. But now you're just getting out physicaled by teams that are of equal or greater talent variance than you. And so I've been on the Greenwood bandwagon for quite some time this season. I've said that team can challenge for a state title. I'm starting to waver a bit just based on this.
It's going to have to change. Like you will not win. You will not contend for a state title as currently performing.
No.
I mean, that has to get shored up.
No, you won't. Now, we do need to get to the story of the week from the week that was, and that is down at Oceanside. The Land Sharks of Oceanside Collegiate took down Dutch Fork.
Fins up.
Dutch Fork hasn't looked great this year. Let me put that out there. They beat Ridgeview, but they didn't look great doing it.
It's kind of like 2023, but without the losses, plural.
Yeah, in 2023, if you remember, Dutch Fork lost 5 games. They didn't win a state championship, but they lost 5 games. But that team had injuries, and weird stuff
A
happening.
ridiculous non-region schedule, too.
Right.
I mean, an absurd non-region schedule.
Right. And they got past Spartanburg, and it just hasn't felt quite right. And I know teams in that region are like, oh, we don't care. That we just got to go beat them. Oceanside, I think, might have laid the blueprint. Ridgeview actually might have laid the blueprint. And
They
then
might
Oceanside
have,
cashes in.
with a backup quarterback and having to kind of change what they do offensively a little bit.
Right. And Oceanside last week scores, but then they do have a drive that they're able to get a few first downs, end up punting the ball away, but used up about 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. But still, I look back at this, Elijah, Dutch Fork had the ball with about 4 minutes left to go in that ball game. And plenty of time and timeouts. And they got into the red zone. And they got inside the 10.
Which made us feel like I think we almost put it in Sharpie. Maybe it was more like pencil, right?
Yeah.
Penciled them in to win that game. Once you get
Erasable
that team
pen.
gets to the 10-yard line, you feel like it's deuces at that point.
Oh, no question about that. To see Oceanside cash in and get an interception in the end zone to end it, I don't know what this does to Dutch Fork going forward. I know they have a really big matchup in a couple of weeks at WC Hawkins Stadium playing Irmo. And that's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a test. But before that, they still got to play other teams in that region.
And as we've discussed last year at length, incredibly difficult region.
It is the most difficult region in the state, top to bottom. Region of doom, region of death, trademark pending.
We're waiting on that one.
Waiting on that one. I don't know if that one's ever going to cash in. If it does, though, T-shirts.
Yes. Maybe we'll profit off of that.
100%. Maybe do some NIL stuff. Who knows? Not for high school, though. It's not a thing in high school yet.
No.
Yet.
We can funnel back money channels to the university. No one's listening to our plan right now. We're just a conversation
This
between
is just,
friends.
yeah, basically over a cup of coffee right now. We're just talking at the coffee shop down the road. So it's a tough region slate. It is a very difficult region slate, not only for Dutch Fork, but for Lexington and for Chapin and for White Knoll and for the new number one team in Class 5A, and that's the Irmo Yellow Jackets. And when we come back, we're going to have the quarterback of those Irmo Yellow Jackets joining us right here on these airwaves. We'll do that next on the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission on the Game. Welcome back into the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission on the Game. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell with you, joined by the quarterback of the Irmo Yellow Jackets, Drayvon Dobson, joining us. Drayvon, first player to ever be in studio with us on a Friday night. How are you doing on your bye week?
Pretty good, pretty good. Honored to be here. Thank you.
Of course. Happy to have you. And I guess the first major question I've got for you is coming into this season. Obviously, you transferred. You were at BC a year ago, and we'll get into what happened last season here in just a second. But coming over to Irmo, obviously there was a pretty good quarterback that played that position before you last year with A.J. Brandon. He's up in Virginia Tech now with the Hokies, and they're dealing with their own situation up there. But what's it been like coming into that role, being the starting quarterback in that offense with all the expectations that's come with it in a Coach Brand system?
No, it's been a not hard transition, but it's big shoes to fill. But Coach Brand and Coach Ruff, gave me the tools and stuff to be able to come in and feel comfortable and play my game, be able to play my game.
And you've played your game, Elijah. The numbers heading into the bye week. I have this courtesy of Drayvon Dobson on Twitter, so I think I've got good stats here.
Reliable source, primary information.
I feel good about the sourcing. Over 1,200 passing yards, over 100 rushing yards.
Oof! Wow.
15 touchdowns through the air, and 1 on the ground. So a good start to your year, 5-0 heading in, and now we get into the next half of the schedule. Where are you guys offensively? How do you feel like you guys have hit your stride? Do you feel like you guys are connected as a unit as you're playing on the offensive side?
No, we started to pick it up, week by week by practicing hard and trusting the system. But after this bye week, we got to continue to grow week by week by week to be able to finish it off.
And now, you get to be the #1 team in the state. I don't know if give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, good. Yeah, those headphones give some trouble.
They're
sometimes.
wonderful things.
Yeah, give some trouble sometimes. But now, getting to be #1 in the state, it's a pretty cool honor. And really getting it from Dutch Fork, who seems to be on that top spot all the time, not a lot of teams outside of them get to have that honor. So you get to have that. You get to now quarterback a team that has a lot of really cool recognition. What's that been like for your team and your coaching staff?
Run that by me one more time, Mr. Cable. We want to see if he can hear us.
Oh, you probably can't. Can you plug his headphones into the mic 3 spot right there? Yeah, for some reason, a nice fun little studio quirk there is that sometimes the headphone things don't work. There we go. That's better. Yeah. See, I figured that might have been the issue. But
look at you, knowing your surroundings.
#1 in the state. It's a pretty cool honor. It's cool to be recognized like that, especially considering not a lot of different teams get to be #1 in state in your classification because of how good Dutch Fork has been. What's that kind of been like for you guys as a team and with your coaches in terms of getting that type of recognition this early?
We're thankful to be able to be the #1 team in the state. But we can't get complacent. We got to keep, building and getting better so we can stay #1 in the state.
That's the hardest thing, too. Getting there is one thing. Staying there is another. What's kind of been one of the messages that Coach Brand, because we have Coach Brand, friend of the show, comes on a lot. What's it been like playing for him now that you guys have a lot more expectation, getting to have that number next to your name?
It's been awesome. He's been a great coach, teaching me new things, helping me out, making sure I'm, comfortable in the system. Because it's a new system, and I just got there, so he want me to be able to, run the offense efficiently.
Drayvon, we started a new segment on this show this year, the Ellie Faith Fighter of the Night. And it's a two-pronged award. It's the off-field and it's the on-field. Off the field, we're recognizing children, who are facing really, really difficult circumstances health-wise. On the field, it's de facto player of the night, but it's a little bit deeper than that. It's not just reading a stat line. We want to know, For example, you might have gone 15 for 35, but you lead a game-winning drive at the end of the ball game against X opponent. Well, that's a fighter of the night type thing, to lead a game-winning drive. And you were selected as a fighter of the night. Now, when we did that in week 1 or week 2, week 1 technically, but it was the second week of the season because we do week 0 here. I did not know this story about you from 2024. So for folks who don't know, kind of give the background on the major health situation you were facing last year when you were playing at Brooklyn Casey.
Okay, so around March, April, May-ish, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, which required me to have surgery because I was losing a lot of blood and my colon was very sick. So I had to have emergency surgery in June and able to, continue.
And then so you have this surgery, and then you still go on and play quarterback at Brooklyn Casey.
Correct.
That fighter of the night type stuff right there.
Absolutely.
You played 8 games after that. Going through that, did that kind of reset your priorities in your head? You're young, but did that kind of give you a new perspective on, hey, it's important, and I want to go play at the next level, and I want to play really well, and I want to win a lot of games? But did that kind of change your mindset as you go into that huddle and lead your team every week?
Yeah, because at a certain point, I didn't know if I would have been able to play football anymore. So to be able to come back and play, get on the field and play, just made me want it even more.
And who are some of the people, too? Like, when you go through something like that, it's really difficult. And going through it, at such a young age can be really difficult. But who, for you, really helped you kind of push through that difficult time and kind of get you back to the things that you want to do personally?
Everybody, my friends, family, coaches, but God especially. But my family really motivated me to, push through, that I could make it back.
And you're in a situation then where you're quarterbacking teams with PPE and all of these things that you have to have post-surgery. Now, what impact was that? I know you're at Irmo now. That was at Brooklyn Casey. But what impact did that have on your teammates at the time? Were you able to sense that your guys were rallying around you in a different way than they maybe would have before?
Yeah, they just made sure that I was protected at all costs, whatever they can do to make sure that I'm fine, that I'm protected, I'm not getting injured. They did, because I could have not been playing. So for me to come back and, to help them win games, help us win games, they protected me at all costs.
So that was it. You were at Brooklyn Casey. Before that, you were at Gray Collegiate, by the way. I want to make sure we get that in there. And now you're at Irmo. We've talked about, coming in and not replacing. You're a different player. He's a different player. You're not replacing AJ Brand. You're the next man up. Is the way I like to look at it. And I think that's the way Coach Brand probably looks at it too, and the way most of your team does. Just looking ahead for you guys, you're on the bye week this week. Had a great game last week down at Myrtle Beach. A big win. Almost hung 60 on them down there, which is a tough place to play when you hang 60 on somebody. But this offense, Mr. Campbell, you ready for these scoring outputs? And the score is what matters.
I do love high-scoring numbers. You know me too well.
35, 42, 51, 59. The progression is linear.
I was going to say, I'm seeing an upward trend here.
But as we're getting in, and I like to ask this of coaches, and so again, Drayvon Dobson joining us, starting quarterback for the Irmo Yellow Jackets. First time we've ever had an actual player, a player in studio with us on a Friday night. So I've got to ask you, you're heading into this stretch, five region games, and as we've mentioned before, this region's not easy, and no game is really. What's your focus going into these next 5 games against teams that are all of them are considered rivalry games, and all of them will determine playoff positioning and where your team goes at the end of October?
We got to continue to practice hard, listen to what the coaches is telling us and put in our heads, watch film, and just continue to get better week by week. We got to continue to put up more points than we did the last week.
I like that. If you continue, Drayvon, if you continue to do that, you're already at 60. I have a challenge for you. If your team can crack 80, I would love to see that.
I think it was cracked 80 this year.
No one's hit 80 yet. We've had a couple 70s in here, but we haven't had an 80 yet. Just for what it's worth, you're a senior this year.
Correct.
So tell us about, have you had any, you don't have to get really detailed if you don't want to, but have you had any conversations with any folks from the next level? Where do you want to go when it comes to playing football? Do you want to play football at the next level? Where do you want to go in terms of regionality? You want to stay close to home? Do you want to see the world? What would you like to do in an ideal situation?
I'm graduating early. I'm graduating in December. So just to be able to play somewhere in the Eastern, kind of closer to home, so my family can come out on Saturdays and watch some college football.
Graduating early.
Yeah, I was not a good enough student to do that.
Yeah.
Not going to lie. That was not my strong suit.
Not able to graduate early either. I squeezed four years of college into 4.5.
I did it in 6, brother.
Look at you.
Call that the victory lap times 2.
There you go. So hopefully we hear good news on the offer front. I know you're very active on social media and appreciate you always engaging with us and reaching out to us, and glad to have you in studio. Appreciate your brother being here as well off the camera, and we just look forward to seeing what your team does down the stretch. Again, you got 5 games, a perfect time for a bye week, by the way. On a 10-game schedule, you couldn't ask for a bye week in a better spot than 5 games in. Kind of reevaluate, see where you are as a team. I'm sure that's what you guys have been doing most of this week, is more self-work and self-scouting work than anything else. Keep up. Stay in touch with us. We want to hear how you're doing, how you're progressing. We want to hear about any college offers, anything like that. We want to make sure that we get those out there on our show to make sure people know what's going on with Irmo. And hopefully these folks, if you're in the Columbia area, all of Irmo's games the rest of the year are also in the Columbia area because they have an actual region that is regionality, and it makes sense.
What a novel concept.
What a novel concept that is. So every game is local if you're here in town. And, of course, on Halloween night, October 31st, Irmo, he knows.
He already knows.
He already knows.
All he needed to hear was the date.
He knows.
That's a big one.
Irmo is hosting Dutch Fork, and I'm petitioning. Terry Ford's somewhere in this building because he sleeps here. We should be at that game. Anyway.
Yes.
Anyway, Drayvon, we appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime you want to come out here, you usually are playing on Friday night, but it's okay. They'll understand. That's Drayvon Dobson, starting quarterback for the Irmo Yellow Jackets. When we come back, Coach Marlon Taylor of the Diamond Hornets joins us right here on the High School Scoreboard Show, presented by Cottman Transmission. Welcome back into the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission on the Game. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell, joined by the head coach of the Lower Richland Diamond Hornets. I want to get that right, not the Diamonds anymore, Diamond Hornets. Coach Marlon Taylor joins us, first time, long time listener, of course, but glad to have you on the program with us, Coach.
Well, glad to be here. You know, we appreciate you covering us, appreciate you covering our school and our team. Anytime we get a chance to talk about Lower Richland High School, we'll be here.
Tough start to the year, obviously. I don't want to dwell on the low points, but a loss to Lugoff Elgin to open the year. But since then, you guys have won 4 straight, including your region opener last week. You got Crestwood tonight, and you're sitting with a defense through 4 games since that opener. This defense has given up roughly 27 points in 4 games, so about a touchdown a game, averaging out. Have you seen that growth and maturity really start to pick up as you're hitting the midway point of your season?
Yeah, I've seen it not only defensively but team-wise. You know, it's first starting out in that Lugoff week, you know, we're kind of pulling teeth, trying to teach them still how to practice. You know, we are an older team on paper. We have 25 seniors on our team this year, but a lot of them still haven't. This is their first time playing. So we're still trying to teach some things and trying to get some things done. But defensively right now, Coach Cornell and his staff are doing a great job of holding people. Honestly, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know that stat. I try not to look.
Smart. That's for us.
I try not to look. Yeah, I try not to look. But you know, just hearing that now, and it's, you know, they're doing a tremendous job. You know, we meet on Sundays. They do a tremendous job of game planning and then relaying it to the kids. We made a couple of changes in our schedule, the way we do things. So I think it's been helping the kids out.
Yeah, you mentioned learning how to practice. I think that's an underrated part, especially at the high school level. So much of winning and losing a football game actually occurs before Friday night.
Yeah.
So when you say, you know, teaching them how to practice, you have to learn how to be able to practice before you get in the games and then execute everything. What's kind of gone into that with your group specifically? Well,
with my group specifically, just our team. You know, I think one of the biggest things, like I said, we made a change in the way we do things. I think it's just being in the film room a little bit more. Letting them see it, letting them see themselves, letting them see, you know, what the opponent is doing and what we're trying to get done. I think that's probably been one of the biggest helps. And then just getting them to understand that you have to practice Monday through Thursday. Like, you can't just show up on Friday night and expect good things to happen to you. Because 9 times out of 10, you know, when all things being equal, if you're not practicing where you're not executing in practice, you're probably not going to execute in the game. You know, yeah, sometimes you may just be better than an opponent, and you can get away with that kind of stuff. And kids, you know, they're kids, so they're gonna try to hang on that as long as you let them. But we try to do a good job of not letting that fall into that lull or fall into that rim. So we push them hard in practice so that the games will be kind of, I guess, the cliche, easier per se.
Right. And one thing I like about how y'all's season has gone is you had that loss to begin the year, but you learned a lot of lessons from it. You know, off air, we were just talking about, you know, you had 4 red zone trips that you didn't capitalize. While the loss, obviously, you coach and play to win games. I want to channel my inner Herm Edwards here. You know, you play to win the game.
Right.
However, for a coach, too, you get some teaching points that are pretty valuable, and it seems like the way you guys have been able to score since then, they've really caught on to that coaching and that teaching really well.
Yeah, they have. Like I said, it's an older team on paper. A lot of these guys have been with us for their entire careers. Got a couple of kids that transferring in, but for the most part, everybody's been with us, so they kind of know what to expect a lot of the times. I think, like I said, again, just spending that extra time in the film room and letting them see our mistakes. I think, you know, that Lugoff game, you know, we got in the red zone 4 times. You know, we came away with no points. You know, we gave up a couple big plays to them on defense. You know, and we went back and looked at it. It's just alignment. It was just alignment issues. You know, and then offensively, we just didn't execute in the red zone. So you go back and you show them that, and then, you know, from there, you know, knock on wood, we've been able to make some corrections and playing pretty decent ball right now.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, I mean, more and better decent ball. Justin alluded to the defense. I mean, since that Lugoff Elgin game, 9 points against Spring Valley, 0 against Colleton County, 6 against a good Batesburg-Leesville team, too, 12 against a good Darlington team on the road. The defense is really locked in, and it seems like those lessons you guys learned in terms of not giving up explosives has really been applied. But what have you liked about what they do when they're on the field that gives you guys a good defensive identity?
They play with a lot of passion. You know, to me, you know, defense is all about the heart and the passion of what you want to get done. You know, defense is kind of imposing your will on people. You know, one thing I do like about them, they play extremely, extremely, extremely hard. They're flying to the ball. I hear guys talking about, hey, we got to get at least 9 hats to the ball. So
Coach's dream right there. You hear them say it.
You're hearing them saying, they're under the tent, making corrections. You hear guys getting on guys, holding guys accountable. We've done a lot of work, off the field also with sports psychologist Dr. Anderson. And one of the things she has harped on the kids about is accountability. We also do what we call a huddle with one of the community members, Mr. Durant from Beulah Baptist Church. We kind of got a little huddle group going. They meet every other Thursday, but again, the thing that the kids say they want more is accountability, and they lack accountability. So they're doing a great job of holding each other accountable. And I tell them all the time, if I have to hold you accountable, coach have to hold you accountable, then we're probably not going to be a good football team. But when now they're taking the rim and they're kind of holding each other accountable. I heard them last week against Dalton's. I think somebody was misaligned. And everybody was jumping on like, hey, you got to be here. This is why you got to be here. And they were just talking it out. It wasn't a beat down session or nothing like that. It was just, hey man, this is why we got to do this. This is why you got to fit right here. And it was refreshing to hear. And after I heard that, I kind of clicked my headset over and went to offense. I was like, okay, they got it. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's a sign of a really mature football team. As someone who has played high school sports and have been in locker rooms where the attempt at accountability does turn into a beatdown session. And between 14 to 18-year-old boys, the beatdown session can sometimes be not very fun. I've been on the receiving end, and I've been on the other end of doing it the wrong way too.
Right.
So that's something for 14 to 18-year-olds, shows a lot of maturity, and that's certainly something that's reflecting on the football field right now, too, is that you guys self-correct really well. And I think that's a really fascinating part of your team that just a lot of high school football teams across America, take a long time to be able to develop.
Right, and I'm not sitting here telling you that we're perfect at it now. We still have our moments, but for the most part, they do a good job of self-correcting each other. And I think too, just overall team-wise, this group of young men love each other. They hang out together outside of football, and that's probably something that we probably haven't had during my 6 seasons here at Lower Richland. That guys generally love each other, generally care about each other. Not just, hey, what can you do for me on the football field? You see them there after practice, you have to run them out the parking lot because they're sitting there talking and laughing and playing. Hey, be like, look, you got to go home. Like, I want to go home too. I live in Irmo. I live in Irmo. I live in Irmo. I want to go home. So it's just seeing them hang out together. We got a couple little traditions that we've been kind of doing here lately in our locker room. So it's good. It's refreshing. Parents are buying into it. Our parents are doing a good job of. Decorating lockers on Thursdays, feeding the kids, and just before and after the games. It's just good to see, the community buying in, and parents are buying into the team aspect of it too.
Coach Taylor from Lower Richland's with us right now, and you mentioned something in a previous answer that I found to be really fascinating. I guess he's a sports psychologist, correct, that you guys meet with?
Yes, every other Thursday we meet with sports psychologist Dr. I don't want to mess her first name up because it's kind of hard. It's Trevia, but I just Dr. Anderson, or kids call her Dr. A.
Shout out Dr. Anderson.
But she works over at Fort Jackson, and she comes over every other Thursday. We've been doing it probably for the last maybe 3-4 years.
Oh wow, okay.
So and it's been helping, and again, it's progress. You're not going to see change just overnight. She not only meets with the kids, she meets with us as coaches too. And before we start our Sunday meeting sometime, she'll come in and she'll give us some things and just how to work with this age group. We've all said it, football's changed, kids have changed.
Yep.
So how do you coach this group of young men in this generation of football players? Back in our day, it was you do it, you didn't have a choice, and if you didn't do it, then you were gonna run to your puke.
Right.
But now it's kind of changed. The climate of things have changed. Everybody's more social, emotionally aware of feelings and emotions and mental health. So we spend a good time talking about that and working with her, and it's been good to see her come in and work with the guys. And honestly, at first I was like, I don't know about this.
Oh, hesitant.
I was like, I don't how the parents are going to take it. How the kids are going to take it, and everybody's been bought in with it. They're asking for it. They're looking for it. They actually today, they're going to meet with her Thursday, so they're gonna. She's gonna come in and she spends about 35-40 minutes with them. Just she started with the whole team, and now she's broken it down to just that senior group because we try to prepare them for what's after football.
That's really neat. I love that element of it. I think it's the first time I've interviewed many high school football coaches in my career in multiple states.
Mm-hmm.
that's the first time I've heard anybody mention having a sports psychologist that meets with their team once a week. And for you personally, how has that maybe changed how you approach coaching maybe throughout your career, that maybe you're doing something differently now that you were not doing earlier because as a result of getting that extra feedback?
So I've been doing this since like 2007. So, I guess they say that you do what you know. When you first start out, I was brought up, football hard nosed. You're going to do it. You're going to be tough. It's going to be hard, and it still is. It still has, it's still football. But it was a lot different, during my time playing football. So I've become more aware on the things that we say and the things that we do and the things that the way people treat the kids. I definitely became a lot more patient. And she talked to us about learning how to how did she say it? How to navigate and how to understand and how to talk and how to push people's buttons without them knowing that you're getting them to do what you want them to do. But it's been refreshing. Like I say, all my coaching staff goes through it. We have a staff of about 18 guys, and on Sundays, and we meet and we all go through it together, and we're able to ask questions. It's a safe space. Not only for us as grown men, but definitely for the kids on Thursday. I'm not in that room with them. No coaches are allowed in that room with them on Thursday. It's just them and her. And then she kind of gives me a little report, kind of, hey, this is kind of what we talked about. This is what you need to look for this week. And honestly, she's been spot on. She's been spot on. Like, it's amazing. Like, she's been spot on to, like, if I'm having an issue with a kid, hey, Dr. Edna, this kid's kind of, we need to talk to him a little bit more. And she's been spot. I mean, it's if you see it and you watch it, like, it is amazing. Like, she's great. She's been spot on with everything she said about a kid or a situation. So it's been refreshing to work with. It's definitely changed me as a coach.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's so unique. I love that. I love being able to incorporate that. But for Friday night's game, you got Crestwood, good football team. We talked about them a little bit before we turn the microphones on. What do you see in Crestwood? What does your team have to do to be able to take care of business on Friday night?
Coach Nelson and his staff over at Crestwood do a great job with their team. They're always big. They're always physical. So we have to win the physical battle up front. They got a humongous D-line, and they get after it. Their box is probably one of the better ones that we're probably going to face this year. Up to this point, definitely. So we have to win the physical game. That's kind of our number one goal going into every game. We have to be more physical than the other team. We don't have a shot.
Be the hammer, not the nail.
Yeah, we got to be the hammer, not the nail. We don't have a shot if we're not physical. And then they do a good job. They're sound. They're going to be where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. They're just a tough, hard-nosed football team. We're a lot alike in a lot of ways. But I just think in order to beat them, we're gonna have to bring our A game. But I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, big game. Yeah, right. Yeah.
The second region game, it's very, very, very vital for us. So, we're gonna do all we can. It's homecoming, so we're gonna do all we can to kind of get this W.
Yeah, build on the momentum of the first region win, right?
Yeah, after that first one against Darlington, I told them complacency can set in. We cannot be complacent. We're always the underdog role. We're actually in the midst of shooting a documentary right now with Kindle Projects. That actual title is Underestimated. So that's kind of been our theme.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Kind of our thing. It's kind of picture. Just kind of think it's kind of like a Hard Knocks kind of deal.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he's gonna go week by week, and kind of when we roll it out, it's gonna be week by week, broken down in a Hard Knocks kind of series. But the title is Underestimated. So that's kind of been our rallying cry. We're in Lower Richland area. Nobody really expecting us to do anything. They expect the same old Lower Richland, but we want to be different. We want to come out and play a good physical brand of football, and just be the best versions of ourselves that we could be.
Truly underestimated. Now you've had my attention with that. Now, for those who are listening, you're like, wow, okay, that sounds interesting. I want to watch that. Where are they able to access that?
Right now, he rolling out trailers on YouTube, Instagram, just all your social media platforms. I'm not the greatest at that, so just basically all your social media platforms. He's rolling out some of the trailers. I think he has the week 4 trailer out now that I saw. So, of course, again, I'm not the most tech savvy guy, so one of the coaches pulled it up for me. But yeah, the week 4 trailer is out right now. So it's cool, man. He's been following us, all summer long. He's been 7-on-7s with us. We host our 7-on-7 tournament. He's been practice, early morning practices. I mean, he's just been great, man. It's cool to see, you know. And then he's a one-man production, so he's out there with like this rig on, and he's got like cameras pointing everywhere.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. But yeah, so hopefully we can get it done and get some sponsorships and get that done.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching. You've got me. I'm in. I love the Hard Knocks type of content.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm in.
We're trying to be different. You know, we want everybody to, you know, see what's going on in Diamond Mine. You know, a lot of times people only hear the negative of what goes on places. But there's a lot of good things going on at Lower Richland High School, you know, from athletics to academics to clubs and other things like that. So, you know, our principal, Latanya Williams, does a great job of forcing a good place of education and academics and athletics. So, you know, our AD Liz still works her tail off. You know, to me, she's the best in the business. So we want to be able to highlight those things and you know, show those people, you know, doing their job.
As head coach Marlon Taylor of the Lower Richland Diamond Hornets.
Yes,
Make sure you get it right. The Diamond Hornets.
You got to make sure now, because some of my old school fans, they see me with the Diamond Hornet, the logo on there. I mean, I got jumped at the gas station. Guy was like, we're not bumblebees, we're diamonds. I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm just
change can take a long time to settle in with people. It can take a little bit to settle in.
So I tell people, we're the Diamond Hornets, but we're the diamond. We're always going to be a diamond.
The diamond always part of the branding.
Always
coach.
Part of the rain.
Appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us here this afternoon. Best of luck against a really good Crestwood team on Friday night.
Well, we thank you for having us. Thanks for coming, Lower Richland.
Welcome back into the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission on the Game. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell here with you. We just heard from the head coach of the Lower Richland Diamond Hornets. That's Coach Marlon Taylor. I still know them as the Diamonds for that matter. That's just what I know them as. I'm still getting used to that, and obviously he is. If you missed our conversation with the quarterback of the Irmo Yellow Jackets, Drayvon Dobson, you can just find that on our YouTube page on this very video. You can just scroll back and listen to it if you want to.
Pretty early on. You'll find it easily.
It's very early in the program, so you'll find it. Great conversation with him. Very well-spoken young man, graduating early. A lot of those kids at Irmo are graduating early. Donovan Murph did it, obviously, and now he is as well. So they've got it working on the academic side there as well, Mr. Campbell.
Oh, yeah. They got that down pat. Really impressive because there's no way I was graduating in December.
Not a chance. Camden is leading 8-0, over halfway through the first quarter. How about this one? Dorman 10, Burns nothing. Dorman scored on the second play from scrimmage, a 69-yard touchdown run. And here's the thing about that. I said this earlier on a program that I do in the mornings to preview. It's very interesting, Elijah. I start my day with high school football. I end my day with high school football. Talking about that Dorman and Burns game, though. If Dorman could weather the early storm up at New Nixon Field and just find a way to be there in the late second quarter, you have a dogfight on your hands. And we're getting that. We're already trending that way. Like that possible hurricane is trending our way.
Yep.
That's also trending toward storm material up
Big
in Burns.
prove-it game for Dorman. A couple of really good results early in the year, but this is a putting yourself up against one of the best in the state type proving.
Agreed.
Good
Agreed.
measuring stick.
Dorman's a very quiet 3-1 and number 7 in the state. So that is something. College football, Atlantic Coast Conference, an actual ACC game, by the way. This is the ACC. Post 1990-ish. Florida State is on the road at Virginia. Number 8, Florida State, going up to sleepy Charlottesville on a Friday night. Well, it's the second quarter, and Virginia's up 7-0 and driving on the Knolls.
Florida State's turned the ball over twice.
Oof.
Not ideal. Beware the Who's. There's a reason I picked them in the underdog challenge.
You're looking smart. You're looking smart right now.
So far.
Also, this from Lou Bajak, Uncle Lou, affectionately known
if you will,
on this program. Gray Collegiate up 10-3.
On Dutch Fork.
On
Dutch Fork.
North Augusta.
North Augusta.
But still.
I don't know why I thought Dutch Fork. North Augusta. Yeah, North Augusta's pretty good. That's one of the games of the night.
Yeah, agreed. And it's over at Gray Collegiate. Clennon bouncing back well. They're up 20-0 over Union County at the end of the first quarter. Burns has scored. Trace Segarra finds the end zone.
You knew you can keep them out of the end zone.
7-yard touchdown run. It was set up, though, by a Jacoby Fuller 84-yard kickoff return.
I mean, sometimes to get the offense moving, have special teams lend you a hand and give you a short field.
Burns has done some things. Really quick, before we end hour number 1, we need to get to our Ellie Faith Fighter of the Night.
We're recognizing true fighters every week. It's time to name the Ellie Faith Fighter of the Night.
By the way, I do want to mention that yesterday would have been Ellie Faith's 7th birthday. So happy birthday, Ellie Faith.
Happy birthday.
Miss her a lot. Rowan is our Ellie Faith Fighter of the Night tonight. And this story comes courtesy of friend of the program, Ollie Otter.
The one and only.
This story comes directly from Rowan's mom, Kenzie. And so let me try to get through this one, folks. Rowan is our little heart warrior. We found out Rowan had tretology of phalate while I was at 20 weeks gestation. From that point on in my pregnancy, it was high risk, and Rowan was monitored very closely. I was induced at 37 weeks to ensure that he was born safely and at MUSC. Tretology of phalate is a rare condition caused by a combination of 4 heart defects that are present at birth. When Kenzie was induced with Rowan, they also found out that he had a lung defect and a variant of DeGeorge syndrome. Variant of DeGeorge syndrome is a deletion of a segment on chromosome 22. Rowan was born 4 pounds, 15 ounces on February 7th of this year, 2025. Rowan had to gain weight before he could even undergo his first surgery, and he was finally able to have that surgery on March the 21st, 2025. He was a month and a half. With his first surgery, they were able to place a shunt and semi-fix his lung defect, and after his first surgery, Rowan had a hard time relearning everything and took a step backwards in his growth progress. A tube had to be placed to help with nutrition and feeding for him, and after being in the hospital for 103 days, they were finally able to take their sweet boy home to meet everyone. And he started doing very well, being home and gaining weight at just the right pace. He is extremely happy all the time and loves everyone. Rowan was scheduled to have his second repair surgery on September 22nd, 2025, just a few days ago. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, he could not have his surgery. So that surgery has now been pushed out to November 26th, 2025. And in the meantime, Kinsey and Dad Cage and big brother Easton, who is 3 years old himself, are asking that everyone keep them in their prayers, that everything continues to go as planned. Rowan will be 9 months old when he has his second surgery, but there is a chance that he will once again have to relearn everything that he knows so far. His mom, Kinsey, would like you to know that she and her entire family are so proud of their sweet boy and cannot thank everyone enough for all of their help and prayers so far. Rowan Elrod, our Ellie Faith Fighter of the Night, tonight on September the 26th. Rowan, that's a wonderful story. We're praying for you, buddy, and we look forward to hearing great things. I'll tweet out the GoFundMe link here in just a bit. That's hour number 1 of the program. We'll be back for hour 2 of the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission right after this. Welcome back into the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission on the Game. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell with you on a Friday night. We are starting hour number 2 of the program. For the second week in a row, it feels like hour number 1 kind of flew by. I don't know.
It always does. I think that's the fastest moving hour in sports radio.
It's fair. It's probably a lot faster moving than that 6 a.m. on a Monday morning.
Oh, that one feels like, well.
I don't know. That
yes
one might move
no.
kind of fast.
Yeah. You're definitely mentally occupied the entire time.
That's fair.
Taking a ton of calls, reading a lot of texts.
I got score updates for you. Brooklyn Casey leads 7-0, and I can confirm I'm watching the correct game.
This time, we did go the entire first hour of the show last time.
They're playing Midland Valley. So they're up 7-0. Burns has responded. It's 10-7. Trey Segarra with a touchdown run.
Surprise of the night. Now, Kale, during our interview with Marlon Taylor, called and left me a report that Ridgeview is up 18-0 over Westwood. They have since tacked it on.
25-0. Remember, you can't call Ashton Chapman a backup quarterback now, right?
Nope, you're the starter.
Okay. They're about to be 3-2.
We had Lou Bajek on early this morning in the early game, and I said, hey, Ridgeview, best 2-2 team in the state, and he agreed. But he was talking about that Westwood team being no joke, coming off of that big win against Blythewood in that rivalry game that we talked about a lot last Friday night. And for Ridgeview to show up and show out and bring the wood early, pretty impressive. I mean, that's the eye popper score of the night so far.
I would agree with you on that one. Central leads Sherrall 27-14. They are well into the third quarter between Central and Sherrall. A lot of games, remember, moved up due to some lingering weather concerns tonight. Not anything dealing with tropical stuff, it's just storms and trying to avoid any lightning delays. Blythewood now makes it 18-0 in the first quarter on their rivals over at Spring Valley. So the Bengals leading the Vikings 18-0. Aaron Judge hits another home run, by the way, in case you're interested.
Good at doing that sort of thing.
He's good at the baseball thing. Did you see their tweet? Did you see the Yankees tweet, though? Like, 32 intentional walks in 2025. Like, Barry Bonds was intentionally walked over 100 times one year.
Records that will never be broken in the history of sports ever again. Sports unbreakable records, that's like at the top of the list.
I'm not a Barry Bonds apologist, by the way. The real home run king is Henry Aaron, but that's beside the point. End of the first quarter, I'm going to get off of that soapbox. Dorman leads Burns 10-7. The Rebels have it 3rd and 5 at the Cavalier 27-yard line to start the second quarter. Gray Collegiate up 10-3 on North Augusta, but North Augusta has recovered a Gray turnover. Covered a fumble there. Grayson Rempf rips one down the middle of the field, and in a driving rain over in Camden, the Bulldogs go for 2 again, and they lead Dreher 16-0 in the first quarter. Coach Corey Jenkins, his squad having a tough time handling that Camden Bulldog offense right now. End of the first quarter at Spartanburg. How about this one? Under the radar game of the night tonight is Gaffney at Spartanburg. Like, again, we're talking about, this is a maybe 5 to 7 years ago. This is premier game of the night type stuff. Spartanburg leads Gaffney 7-0.
Helmet game.
Oh.
Mega helmet game.
No question. I mean, they could be wearing the leather helmets and it'd still be a helmet game. And then Northwestern leads Catawba Ridge 21-6. Remember, Catawba Ridge knocked off the Fighting Jack Veltries last week to give Fort Mill their first loss of the season. And by the way, I told Jack on the extra point, I chat with Jack and Tyler every Friday at 10:15, plug, about the upcoming games and about our show, which Tyler has used the word degeneracy for before, which...
Don't know if we devolve that much during the show, but we get close.
I mean, definitions matter. But I did tell Jack he needs to get his team's mind right. That's what I said. I said, you can't. Jack,
bounce back game.
You cannot let Catawba Ridge beat you twice.
Nope.
He agreed. But we shall see what Fort Mill does tonight. Catawba Ridge, they're struggling. When you play Northwestern, I just best of luck to you. I don't know what to tell you. Just could be a very long night for you and your defense. And depending. Crescent is up 14-13 in their ball game. Elijah mentioned Ridgeview is running it all over Westwood. Bobian from the 30-yard line runs right side, tiptoes the sideline, and barrels his way through 4 Warhawks down to the 5. I mean, just picks them up and carries them an extra 5 yards. And Carolina Forest leads Southside Christian. How about that? Great day. Carolina Forest leads Southside Christian 35-7 at the half.
Oh, boy. That might get our Forrest Gump running clock of the night award.
T.L. Hanna leads Malden 14-7. T.L. Hanna coming off of a big win over Greenwood last week and continuing to roll here. They're still running, by the way. Still running. Clover leads Fort Mill 7-6 at the end of the first quarter. Tough to have a bounce-back game against a Perry Woolbright-led football team. I'm just putting that out there. Florida State has scored. So it is now 14-7 as the Noles try to battle back and keep their early season afloat because we all need college game day in Miami in a couple of weeks, or in Tallahassee in a couple of weeks, I guess, for that game. Westside and Abbeville. This game was supposed to be played at Westside. It's being played in Abbeville because there was a tear in the turf.
Ooh.
And because of the rain, they didn't think they could get it fixed and for it to stick, if that makes sense, for the fix to work. So they moved this game to Abbeville. That's tough luck if you're West Side. All tied at 7 between West Side and Abbeville.
Honestly, speaking of helmet games with different classifications.
Yes.
But we got a banger of a game.
Does that shock you at all?
That it's tied at 7?
Yeah.
You know what? It does, actually.
That may change in the third and fourth quarter just in terms of depth.
Right. Yeah, when you have a classification difference like that, Abbeville is the ultimate powerhouse in that 1A classification, but West Side, Cutter Woods ain't walking through that door.
Mm-hmm.
They've struggled a lot this year.
They're 0-4.
Yeah.
But they've had a really challenging
I will say it's been a gauntlet of a schedule.
I got this for me from Chris Deering. Mike Doe powers in from 8 yards out. North Augusta has taken a 13-10 lead. 28 seconds left in the first quarter. They're done with the first quarter. Mike Doe has 164 yards in one quarter.
Oh, wow.
Early favorite for on-field fighter of the night. Just go ahead and click that pen.
Yeah, we're
Mr.
just
Campbell.
we're gonna put Mike's name down here.
And sources tell me that the Kentucky football team is at a movie.
They're catching a film tonight.
I'm not telling you where.
Can you tell me what movie it is?
I cannot. I can tell you what movie my family was seeing. And so I'm going to tell you what movie my family was seeing. So tie it in. Ellie Faith's birthday yesterday. We celebrated that by doing everything she had planned for her birthday. One thing we didn't do last night, they were doing tonight. They're going to see the new movie Gabby's Dollhouse. I'm really hoping Kentucky football went to see Gabby's Dollhouse. That would make my day.
But you have not received confirmation that they are in the Gabby's Dollhouse Theater.
The buses are at the theater, or as they may say in Kentucky, the theater.
Theater, yeah, they would. That part of the country, that's how it's said.
They're within the walls of the building. I just don't know within which bay they're currently sitting.
This could be vital information.
I also can report that Coach Mark Stoops and Coach Eric Wolford were at Halls and not tweeting about it.
I did receive a text too that Coach Stoops at Halls and someone in the group text did make the joke, is Sean Miller there too?
Yeah. Reports are Rich Rodriguez is there. Who knows who else?
Nick Saban.
John Gruden.
John Gruden always pops up in these things.
Mike Gundy.
Always does.
Mike
He's
Gundy could
more
be there.
available.
Have you seen the online push for Mike Gundy to be the new offensive coordinator? My guys, stop.
Don't think it's going to happen.
Straws grasping.
Desperately.
Grasping desperately. So there's a lot of action going on. I'm just letting you know. I'm just reporting these things. I'm just reporting them.
I mean, we're locked in. We're connected. We're just telling you what we hear.
The Burns Rebels are up 14-10 on Dorman. Dorman once led this game 10-0.
That does count as a Vertex PT specialist comeback watch because it was multiple scores. That's the parameters we set at the beginning of the year.
True,
we only required it to be a multi-score game.
That's true. Doesn't matter the time. Oceanside Collegiate is trying to back up a win over Dutch Fork with another win over Atlantic Collegiate. That's a game they should win going away. It's 14-0. Oceanside, early second quarter.
Avoiding the hangover game.
You got to avoid the hangover game. That's what I was driving at. How about this? That score to make it 14-10 for Burns. Kane Rogers finds his wide receiver Chew Harris. What a football name.
Chew Harris.
C-H-O-O. Chew. Florida State has just intercepted a pass from Virginia. It was a bad throw. I put that one in your pocket. It'll soon be 14-14. And into the first quarter, North Augusta leading Gray Collegiate 13-10. Westwood has the ball back, and they get an explosive, not an explosive run, not an explosive play, just an explosive. That's what we're calling it these days, I hear. And as we mentioned, it is 14-7 there between Virginia and Florida State. Fairfield Central leads Andrew Jackson 21-0. That one in the second quarter. Here we go. Halftime at Lower Richland. Crestwood 6, Lower Richland nothing.
Ooh, I mean, defense only giving up one score. Crestwood's defense is pretty solid. I feel like Coach Taylor thought they'd be in a little bit of a rock fight, but if that's what he expected, that's what he got.
Well, you're going to get it with that Crestwood team. That Crestwood team is they've had some rough outings this season, but it's not because of lack of competition, that's for sure. Northwestern leads Catawba Ridge 28-6. Northwestern scored 28 points in 13 game minutes of action. It's insane.
They're a machine.
Absolute machine. They just don't stop scoring. Touchdown Gaffney. It's 7-7 between the Indians and the Vikings of Spartanburg. Fort Mill is up 9-7 on Clover right now. Abbeville still moving the football into the first quarter between Camden and Dreer. They're now a couple minutes into the second quarter. The Bulldogs lead the Blue Devils 16-0 in that
offense
ball
is
game.
humming. We talk about some explosives. Camden's hit on some explosives so far in this game.
And even in that game against Ridgeview, it wasn't for lack of offense. That offense ended up getting it going a little bit later in the ball game. It's just they had dug themselves a hole, like you just said. Just a little too late for them to make anything happen. Like 28 points for Northwestern in 13 minutes, almost 2 points per minute if we were really working that. Now, if you're playing basketball and you score 2 points in a minute, we got problems.
Well, in a college basketball game, that's 80 points.
That's true. Lamont Paris is hoping for that this year.
They didn't score 80 a lot last year.
No, they
Not
gave up
many games.
Did they give up 80 a lot?
A few times.
A few times, yeah. It's almost that time, isn't it, to where we're going to be balancing off a basketball season.
Official practices have already begun.
Look at that.
One could say we're already there.
One might say it, and you might be that one.
That would be me.
We got a lot of action still to come. We'll talk more high school football as we roll toward halftime in a lot of these games. We'll talk about the college football slate tomorrow. We'll talk about the NFL slate this weekend. We'll talk about everything you want to talk about right here on the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission on the Game. Welcome back in to the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission. Cottman Transmission can fix and repair your transmission, but sometimes you just need fuel.
Oh, we got fuel tonight, brother. Shout out to Brian Glenn for pulling through. Man, came over here with 3 pizzas. I've never been more excited in my life.
Powered by Village Idiot Pizza. Let's go to the phone lines, 803-404-6100 is where you can get us. Roger joins us for call number 1 of the night. He bats leadoff. What you got, Roger?
Yeah, I got 2 good high school score. Calhoun Academy 8, Prep, Nut in the second quarter. My alma mater, Hancock Tyler Nutton and Bamberg Earhart 7 in the second quarter. I got a shout out to Carolina University quarterback Lenore Sellers. He may get 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, and they may beat 38-24 over Kentucky.
Roger continues to feel good about Lenora Sellers in the offense. I can get with half of that. Again, if South Carolina scores 38 points tomorrow night, folks, you can go ahead and pencil in good vibes for the bye week.
Mm-hmm.
And very good vibes heading into that LSU game. Roger, he's a believer.
I'm a believer in Lenora Sellers.
As the monkeys used to sing.
That's right. I saw Lenora's face, now I'm a believer.
Kale's waiting. We can go ahead and bring Kale in. I'm a believer in Lenora Sellers. I'm not a believer in this offense right now, and I'll continue to. We'll talk about that later. Kale joins us on the phone lines now. First time calling in, getting on the air. Sorry about that. We were interviewing some people. Kale, where in the world is Kale Wilson, and what's going on where he's located?
Yeah, no problem, guys. This game kicked off earlier than expected, so that's part of why it's the first time me calling. I'm here in Blythewood for Westwood hosting number 11 in South Carolina, Ridgeview. So this game's been interesting. Ridgeview scored a touchdown and a 2-point conversion on their first 2 drives to go up 16-0. And then a bot snap by Westwood led to a safety, and bad things led to another. Ridgeview jumped out to a 32-0 lead. Now, that sounds almost insurmountable. But the crazy thing was, with 1 minute and let's say 11 seconds left, it was first down and 10 for Westwood on their own 13-yard line. Sophomore running back, number 22, Jovan Howard, breaks off an 81-yard run. Quincy Grant, the fastest player in South Carolina for Ridgeview, tracked him down at the 2-yard line. Harrington Carter with a pass to Miles Grant from the 2-yard line on 3rd down and goal. And then they go for 2. And Jalen Donaldson catches the 2-point conversion, number 16, for the Red Hawks. Time runs out in the first half. Westwood gets the ball to start the second half. They're down 32-8, but they just barely put themselves back in it. It doesn't look like a great game, but Westwood's not out of it, especially after having the momentum going into halftime.
So Westwood trying to hang around, again, trying to just be pesky with Ridgeview. But again, Ridgeview, this program has dubbed them, Kale, the best 2-2 team in the state. Would you agree with that?
I would definitely agree with that. Now, a couple of the things that I have noticed, though, is a couple of the players that are really good for them I have not seen. I haven't seen number 2, Jordan Best, who's a 4-star corner committed to NC State. I haven't seen him on the field. And I also haven't seen Christian Jackson, number 4, who's their wide receiver, who has 28 D1 offers. And I don't really know what's happened to either of those guys. But they are getting it done in the run game. Spencer Bobian has a touchdown. And then number 22, I know this name sounds familiar on Saturdays, Ryan Williams, the backup running back for Ridgeview, has 2 touchdowns as well.
Kale, always appreciate it. Always a great detailed report, and we look forward to hearing from you more as this game rolls along.
And where can we watch this game, Kale Wilson?
Ooh.
You can come watch this game on Savage College Football on Instagram. We'll be going live when the half resumes. For some reason, it says 4:50 on the clock, but I thought it was 15 and a half, so someone's not communicating with me correctly. Regardless, whenever the second half starts, that's when we'll be going live. So either in the next 5 or 10 minutes, we'll be going live for the rest of the game. Come and join us. Listen to the best high school football scoreboard show on the best radio station on the planet. Have yourself a little high school football party, whether you're with your friends or by yourself.
Call that a simulcast.
That's correct. Thank you, Kale. We appreciate it. And you might even have a stack of Village Idiot Pizza to your left. It's just sitting there in the boxes. Just It's right over there.
Commercial break.
Right over there.
Yeah. Dig in.
It's 14-14, Florida State and Virginia, in case you're interested. But let's get into, oh boy, I got an update from Dorman and Burns. 8:03 to go in the second quarter. Jabez Thomas hauls in his second interception of the night, his third in the last 6 quarters of football. I'm going to repeat that. His third in the last 6 quarters of football. And he goes 30 yards for a touchdown, a pick six. The point after is blocked.
Uh-oh. Well,
It's 16-14, Dorman over Burns. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the year 2025, and I am here to tell you we have a vintage Dorman-Burns game happening in the upstate.
The Dorman Burns series, as they would say on the Dan Le Batard show, is back. And just like that.
Oh, boy. And I have an update here. LSU running back Caden Durham, unlikely to play tomorrow at Ole Miss on the Grove.
That's really the only consistent, I guess, form of offense LSU's had at any point this year. You've had a solid season.
Did you know that they have a name for that game?
The Magnolia Bowl.
Yeah. Has that always been a thing? Am I missing that? As a 30-year connoisseur of the SEC, have I missed that?
Yeah, that somehow slipped,
that slipped
from
me?
your world.
30 years, though?
The Magnolia Bowl.
That's on me. That's on me.
Well, because they didn't put it in the video game. That's how I learned a lot of rivalry game nicknames, was by playing the video game currently.
So earlier today, Tyler and Bill on the halftime show. By the way, great to hear Bill back.
Yes, certainly.
And coming out this week, firing, by the way. I just want to put that out there. On all cylinders, man. I've appreciated his stances. They were talking today about rivalries, and the Kentucky-Carolina game is pretty much a rivalry now.
You play each other every year.
I would agree with that. You played each other every single year since 1992.
Yep. Counts.
Carolina won the first 30, it felt like, until 2014 is really when that broke. 2010, they beat them after Alabama. 2014. Should this game have a trophy? I know we just hand out trophies for everything now, and that's a whole different conversation. But South Carolina and Texas A&M have a trophy. Supposedly. I've never seen it.
I never saw it until Carolina won that game finally. Maybe that's why we haven't seen it, is because Texas A&M has awarded it.
Did you see it?
Yes.
In person?
Not
they
in
found
person.
it?
I found it. I've seen pictures.
Okay, they haven't found it. I don't think they know where it is. For what it's worth.
I have yet to see in person, though. So
the bottom trophy.
Yes.
Not the musician, but the soldier. So you got a trophy for that. You got a trophy for Missouri and South Carolina. Shouldn't this game get a trophy? Because the best trophy in college sports is the Floyd of Rosedale.
I think what we should do for this game is call it the Jefferson Pilot Trophy. In honor of Jefferson Pilot Sports, Dave Neal presents this every single year.
That sounds amazing.
Because South Carolina-Kentucky is a game that is destined to live on Jefferson Pilot Sports forever.
Or the 7:45 kick on SEC Network.
Yes.
Because I'm trying to remember the last time this game was played in Columbia, and it wasn't a night game. Help me out.
It's probably been since the days of Jefferson Pilot.
So it's this year. We're going. The last time they played here, Carolina won their 5th game of the year, night game. Shane Beamer broke the streak up there. It was a night game. They won here in Shane Beamer's first year, night game. 2020, night game. I'm gonna do some reconnaissance research on that. That's not bad. Jefferson Pilot Trophy. I can.
If you want to have something,
but have the classic SEC logo.
Yes, the classic SEC logo. If you want to try to find something that's appropriate to the history of the series, I think that's our most appropriate one.
Tyler mentioned a Gamecock fighting a Wildcat. I told him that could very well cross legality lines. It's illegal. I don't know if it's illegal to do it in trophy form, but it's certainly illegal to do it.
Well, it's a Gamecock fighting a Wildcat, not a Gamecock fighting a Gamecock.
It's true. It's true, so it could work, I suppose. Bill mentioned some bourbon barrels and things of that sort, considering...
Classic.
Horses. Kentucky and South Carolina known for their horse racing.
See,
armadillos are famous in both states. So it could be like the Floyd of Rosedale, but an armadillo.
But an armadillo.
Mm-hmm. Not that the loser would get Hansen's disease or anything. But
right.
Just saying.
Those aren't trophy transmitted.
No, they're not, and you don't want that. So just workshop that amongst yourselves as you're listening to this high school scoreboard show. Perhaps you know of something, and you can storm onto the field tomorrow after the game and present a trophy to Shane Beamer or Mark Stoops or whomsoever gets the ability to not be number 15 ahead of Florida.
Hey, our boy Steven Bessinger on the YouTube stream says the Jim Beam Trophy.
It's not bad.
Not a terrible idea.
Not terrible.
It might favor Kentucky a little more. Hard to get both.
Yeah, there's
Equally
not a lot of
represented, 'cause
shared.
There's not a lot of shared cultural stuff here.
Just not a lot of shared cultural things between Kentucky and South Carolina. 4:55 to go in the half. Gray Collegiate and North Augusta. North Augusta up 20-10 in the pouring rain in West Columbia, like down in buckets. Barnwell is falling on some hard times, Mr. Campbell. Late second quarter, Silver Bluff 42, Barnwell nothing.
Ooh, they really have. Yeah, that's non-competitive
That's just not good.
for a team that went through an incredible run last year to go as far as they did. I mean, that was what, state title appearance?
Yes. Lost to Clinton.
2024, I'm walking through that door.
No kidding. Oceanside Collegiate now leads 21-0 after a 70-yard pick six by Jordan Wright. So you got to feel good about that. Florida State has it first and goal with a 14-14 score and about 2 minutes left to go in the first half. Camden leads 16-0, and Florida State is now on top 20-14 thanks to Tommy Castellanos. He did that all by his dang self. It is 16-0 Camden with 3 minutes to go in the half. We got a lot of action still to come, and Elijah's got a lot of pizza to eat. So let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side. More of the high school scoreboard show presented by Cottman Transmission coming up on The Game. Welcome back in to the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission, unofficially powered by Village Idiot. Glad to be here on a Friday night. Talking high school football, rosters were announced this week, Mr. Campbell, for the Touchstone Energy Bowl, the 2025 All-Star Game in South Carolina. I want to talk about the North roster, because I think it's important to mention these. Quarterbacks Trey Burke from Spartanburg and Roper Winsky from AC Flora, quarterbacks for the North team. Running backs R.J. Brown from South Point and Javen Cook from Clinton. Receivers Corey Moats from Woodruff, Stone Furry from Dutch Fork. His dad is the wide receivers coach for the University of South Carolina.
Does a lot of important work around here.
Who I have seen unfairly criticized on social media. Bothered by it, man. Again, I'm going to get on a soapbox here. How in the world are you criticizing your wide receivers coach when they had 300 yards of passing?
Yeah, the passing game was actually really good. It's the fact that she didn't run the ball at all.
You not only didn't run the ball at all, you did it in negative.
You were better off just not running it at all.
Yeah, just not running it at all would have been better. Total air raid, total Mike Leach.
That's also another fan pet peeve here is people saying that, like, if you want to get rid of Lonnie Teasley, okay, fine, I get the frustration, but to say immediately put Sean Elliott as the offensive line coach when he's the run game coordinator,
How's the run game going?
Pretty bad.
Okay,
Again, -9 yards.
I think it speaks for itself. Matthew Hillstock from Easley, Grayson Crow from Bowling Springs, K.D. Witt from Batesburg, Leesville, Braylon Blanton from Chesney. Oh boy. Tight ends, Bryce Seaborn, Jaden Great, Jackson Rogers. A litany of offensive linemen here as well. Kicker Brock Franklin from Lawrence, the fighting Captain David Ayers.
That's right. They haven't been very good lately.
They have not. Quarterbacks for the South roster. From James Island, Connor Dantzler. I wonder if he's any relation to Woodrow Dantzler. I'll effort that in a minute. Aiden McCarthy from Bluffton. How about the Bobcats? The Bluffton Bobcats have a game tonight against Hilton Head Island, and that drive is about 8 minutes, maybe, right across the bridge. Just drove through
Skip, hop, and a jump, as we'd say in some parts of the country.
It's just about 3 minutes as the crow flies, as I was told when I was a kid. And Quinn Mahoney from the Battling Bishops of Bishop, England. Running backs Jaron Fox, Ryan Campbell, and Tyleek Dukes from Kingstree. Looking for a few names here. Nick Buggie, Buggie, pardon the pronunciation.
Buggy, yeah.
Buggy, I like it.
2 G's.
Tight ends. He is a tight end from Lucy Beckham. So he has made the North-South roster this all-star game that's coming up. And a lot of great talent on the field for this all-star game. Again, it will be taking place December 13th at Myrtle Beach High School. At halftime, they will announce Mr. Football, and we should be getting nominees for Mr. Football in short order. Only a couple weeks away because this is the last Friday night in September.
Meaning we're halfway through the season.
Time flies when you're having
Good
fun,
Lord.
doesn't it?
Yeah, I just kind of hit that realization.
How does that feel? Royce Williamson from 29 yards out makes it 20-17. Gray back within a score.
Royce Williamson, the son of
Troy Williamson,
yes,
best known by me for a huge catch and run against Virginia. Look at that.
Tying all this
Tie it
together.
all in. I'm like the guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Though the Charlie Day finding out or trying to discover the identity of Pepe Sylvia.
Yes. Oh, let's see here. A couple more scores if we can get them for you. Cyclones of Chester leading their ball game 28-6. Oceanside Collegiate up 27-0. Blue Ridge and Landrum tied at 21. Got a great game going up in Blue Ridge. That's a fantastic football game, actually. Tied at 21, still in the first half. A good one there. Dorman has expanded their lead. Back-to-back 3-and-outs for Burns. Dorman's getting the ball back with 1:56 left to go in the half, and they lead 23-14.
Oh, middle eight. The middle eight is large. It's where possession total can change, where you can really flip a game on its head. Dorman has a chance to really, really make this one hairy for Burns at home.
I mean, a touchdown before the half would make it 30-14, folks.
Oh, what a remarkable catch. This receiver from Camden, contested catch in the end zone.
Oh,
Good
wow, that
Lord.
was a great catch. He went up and got it. That's an old school Monday Night Football. You just got mossed.
Right, yeah, a mossing. Yeah, we don't see a ton of mossings anymore.
I miss those segments. I like the mossed more than the come on man.
Oh,
you want me to be
really?
honest?
Okay.
You
I
want
was a
me to be
big,
honest?
big come on man.
Come on man, yeah, it was good, but it eventually just ran its course with me.
Yeah, I also think the last come on man I saw was whenever I was watching it and it featured my MTSU Blue Raiders in a game that I covered as a student in the Conference USA Championship game where 12 men on the field cost you a shot at getting the ball back. UAB got an automatic first down and just took a knee. Conference title game. Brutal. Brutal.
Middle Tennessee State was the opponent of the first game I ever saw Carolina play in person in football. 2006. 2006. Corey Boyd had a magnificent long run that he ran probably twice as much as he did straight, right? Just left and right and breaking tackles. South Carolina won that game 52-6
Sounds about right.
the week before my birthday. They went on to beat Clemson the next week in Clemson. Missed field goal by Jad Dean. Blake Mitchell was the quarterback for that team.
Blake Mitchell.
Sidney Rice on the outside.
My favorite Gamecock of all time.
Corey Boyd, of course, I mentioned him running the football. Good ball club. Good team.
Really
I've
good
been
team.
talking tonight a lot about classic Gamecock football teams, and that 2005
there in the
2006
pantheon.
team,
Yeah.
they were scrappy. 2007 just didn't go their way late in the year after the Vanderbilt loss, but 2005 2006 those were good football teams. Those were good football teams. Wilson at last check is leading Hartsville and Kellytown 7-0. Hartsville's 1-3.
Down year, yeah. A surprising down year. Usually in the years you might not expect them to maybe be state title contenders, you expect them to still be really good. That's a football capital P program.
Yes, a program, as Coach Will Muschamp used to say, program. Because if you have a program and not a program, things are going well for you. Virginia has tied it up. It's 21-21 in Charlottesville with 48 seconds left to go in the half.
I missed that one.
If you were Florida State, take a knee. Take a knee.
Whew.
Florida State's first 3 drives, no points, 2 turnovers. Their last 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. Chandler Morris, the quarterback for Virginia, 19 of 25 for a $148, 2 total touchdowns. He's thrown 2 picks, though. Tommy Castellanos having to do it all by his dang self. He's 7 of 11 for 101 through the air, a rushing touchdown. He has thrown a pick as well, and that pick set up a Virginia score.
Big pet peeve here. Anybody that's got Castellanos in their top 5 in Heisman, it's lazy.
Why would you have him in your top 5? What's he done to be
On
a Heisman?
3, has him at like number 2 or 3.
What's he done? Beat Alabama?
He completed 9 passes in that game against Alabama.
That's gross.
They ran the ball really well.
Well,
I give credit where it's due. He played well, and he became a talking piece over the summer, and they backed it up. They backed it up as a team. I don't know if that was a Heisman performance where that one guy did it by himself
yeah,
type deal.
yeah. Anytime you beat Alabama, I guess.
I guess that automatically gets you into conversations you otherwise might not be invited to.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, Kenny Hill was also a Heisman favorite after Week 1 in 2014. That didn't last long.
Ha! Yeah, that didn't last long at all.
So there's
I
that.
think like 30% of his passing yards in the season were in that game.
Yeah, that's about right. There are very few Gamecock football games I've stopped watching. That was one of them. Stopped watching. There have been others.
Brutal.
A lot of them were in 2015. 2015 was not fun.
Defense was, atrocious.
Yeah, not great.
But-
not great.
Brian on the YouTube stream says C.A. Johnson 20-0 over Allendale Fairfax.
Look at C.A. Johnson. C.A. Johnson, Columbia. How about Eau Claire? I know Eau Claire lost last night.
They did.
But they're 4-2.
Yes.
Let
And
me look-
Pillion's good. Pillion's a pretty good team right now.
Pillion's got a
Playing
good
really
football
well.
team. They ran into a buzzsaw with Swansea, but they got a really good football team. How about this note from Lou Bajak? I want to credit Uncle Lou. Let's see, where's the number here? Eau Claire's 4 wins this season are the most since 2018, and more than the program had combined from 2019 through 2024. So 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Folks, 6 seasons. 6 seasons. Eau Claire combined in those didn't have 4 wins.
Turning it around.
Go Shamrocks.
Big year for the Shamrocks. The Fighting Jermaine O'Neills. Getting their due. I love that.
And we had their coach on last week, post-game, thanks to Mr. Cale Wilson. and he's a gamer.
He's a gamer. They are all about their business. They are very business-like in their approach, which I absolutely love.
Absolutely. I got an update on the personal text line from Shane Fiddler. 20-0 White Knoll over Fort Dorchester.
Speaking about a team who's had a really tough year, Fort D.
They're falling on hard times.
They have fallen on some hard times. That was a program when I got here, was told, traditionally really good. It was pretty good for a couple of years while I was here, and
there's reasons
it's a low
why.
point.
There's reasons why. And it really has nothing to do with the school or the team or the players or the coaches. I think it has a lot to do with a lot of different programs popping up down there. I'll put it that way. And your talent pool begins to slim.
Disperse.
Right. So, like Lexington was a legit power for years. Well, then you build White Knoll because the population expands. Then you get River Bluff in there. Armo was a force, and they still are, but then Dutch Fork gets built. And eventually the talent pool starts to get split. And I think that's what's happened to Fort Dorchester. By the way, one more score update before we hit a break here. Midland Valley up on Brooklyn Casey 13-7. 13-7 at the half.
Brooklyn Casey got up early in that game, hasn't been able to hold on to it. That's right. You knew against that team, against Midland Valley, it's going to be tough to hold on to that lead. Knew there was a lot of ball game left. Now's your time to respond. Yeah, and we'll see if Coach Lewis Clyburn and offensive coordinator G.A. Mangus can get something going in the second half. We will take a quick break. We'll come back. More scores and more conversation coming up right here on the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission on the Game.
Welcome back into the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission on the game. A lot of these games are getting to halftime, so once we get some reliable scores here on the scoreboards that we have when it comes to halftime scores, we will deliver those to you. I can tell you that Aaliyah Boston and the Indiana Fever lead Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces 47-44 in Game 3 of the WNBA semifinals, in case you're interested. And you might be. Those are two Gamecocks.
It is the All Gamecock Bowl. We will have a Gamecock represented in the WNBA Finals.
Asia Wilson won herself yet another MVP award.
Make that 4.
That's insane. Is she the greatest athlete to ever come out of the state of South Carolina? Discuss it amongst yourselves. Discuss it amongst yourselves.
Legitimate. I mean, has an athlete come out of South Carolina been the best player in their world at their craft?
We'll discuss it amongst ourselves. I did sit beside her in class for a semester.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
The year
you not say you sat next to the greatest women's basketball player on
the
planet?
year they won the national championship, actually. First one. With her. All right, so while we're waiting on those scores to roll through and waiting on those updates, let's look at our college football schedule and scoreboard. Florida State and Virginia tied at 21. We'll go ahead and dive into the ACC since we have that. Clemson is off this week, and boy, could you get a bye week at any better time if you're Dabo Swinney.
No.
Wake Forest is hosting Georgia Tech. Number 16, Georgia Tech comes to town, and you can get tickets for as low as $18, Mr. Campbell.
That's a deal.
Syracuse is hosting Duke. Man, if that were a basketball game.
Well, it used to be a really good basketball game.
Not
when
anymore.
Syracuse first got to the ACC. I mean, that was a must-watch game for a few years, then Syracuse fell off a cliff.
Pittsburgh is hosting Louisville. You can get tickets for as low as $9 for that game.
That one's in Louisville or in Pittsburgh?
In Pittsburgh.
Huh, someone's got to fit this up. They got to get some bodies in the big ketchup bottle.
Correct. ACC Network has Boston College hosting Cal.
Classic traditional game between two Atlantic Coast teams.
Stanford hosts San Jose State at 7:30 on the ACC Network and at 7 on the CW. So they're bumping Smallville for NC State and Virginia Tech.
Oh, Virginia Tech? You probably should have stared Smallville.
I would have aired Smallville. Smallville is probably way more interesting.
Yeah, maybe a little more depth. Probably a little more emotional investment in that show than Virginia Tech.
I could start quoting if you'd like.
Big Smallville guy.
I like Smallville. It's good. I haven't even watched it all the way through. My wife loves it, and so she's got me involved in it. And yeah, it's good. It's good. John Schneider as Clark Kent's dad. It's really good. All right, Arizona State is hosting TCU tonight in like 10 minutes.
Wait, Arizona State TCU's tonight?
Tonight on Fox.
Oh, what a banger.
Yeah.
Oh, so we can watch it. That's fantastic news.
Oregon State is hosting Houston at 10:30 on ESPN tonight, so you get late night Pac-12 action. Did you see Lincoln Riley complaining about time zones today or earlier this week? He was saying that we hosted the late game. We hosted the latest game in the country last week. We got the earliest game in the country this week. My response to that on Twitter was, what we should do is we should get Southern Cal and 11 other teams in the Pacific time zone. And since it's 12 teams, we could call it like the Pac-12 or something.
Like the Pacific 12?
Nah, it probably wouldn't work.
No. If only you had a say in that, Southern Cal. If only your school had a say in that.
You could get like UCLA and Cal and Stanford and Oregon State and Washington State and
Arizona State.
You're up to 10. Utah and Colorado. Done.
And you might have to leave the Pacific time zone for Colorado.
That's fine.
That's cool. Somebody's got to have an outlier. Yeah.
All right, Kansas is hosting Cincinnati on TNT. I didn't know they did college football on Turner.
Starting this year. I think they're doing it. They're bringing it back.
Nice. K-State's hosting UCF. Oklahoma State, a Mike Gundy-less Oklahoma State.
Do they play for Mike? Is it the new coach bump?
Mike Gundy is no longer the head coach at Oklahoma State. Can you name the head coach of the Cowboys before Mike Gundy? It was Les Miles. So Mike Gundy takes over for Oklahoma State. Les Miles then coaches at LSU, unemployed, Kansas.
Quickly unemployed after that.
All in the same time Mike Gundy is at Oklahoma State.
It's just like Utah, because that same year, Urban Meyer left Utah. Utah hires Kyle Whittingham. Urban Meyer wins 2 national championships at Florida, retires, comes back, wins a national title at Ohio State, retires, comes back, 1 year with the Jacksonville Jaguars, retires, comes back in a TV role with Fox. All while Kyle Whittingham has been the head coach at Utah.
Oh, boy.
Two coaches with amazing longevity, and Kyle Whittingham wins the war of attrition.
West Virginia is hosting Utah. Iowa State is hosting Arizona. And Colorado is hosting BYU tomorrow. Should be a good one. In the Big Ten, we'll move quickly through these before we get to the real football. Illinois is hosting Southern Cal.
Dude, Illinois, Bert.
Hey,
Bert.
how happy was the collective Columbia area seeing Kurt Signetti say, "Google me," to Brett Bielema, to Bert Bielema?
You can only be as happy as you can after getting beat at Missouri. But, I mean, if there's any consolation, Bert got beat worse on national television.
Minnesota is hosting Rutgers. Washington is hosting Ohio State in the CBS game of the week at 3:30. A game, I'm sorry, but CBS 3:30 should be LSU and Ole Miss. Period. Just throwing it out there.
Should always be.
Iowa hosts Indiana. Northwestern hosts UCLA. And then the game of the night in the Big Ten is the whiteout. 7:30. Penn State hosts Oregon. I'm not here for the James Franklin slander, okay? Everyone's going to say James Franklin is overrated. My response to that is just very respectfully, what is he rated?
I think he's rated adequately.
I think
he
he's rated.
just can't beat the top 10 teams.
See, I'm gonna get you on that one too. Is it he can't or he hasn't?
You know what? I'll prefer hasn't. He hasn't in 10 years.
He hasn't. Correct. So because we don't know if he can't. Can't is a very permanent. That can't will never happen. It will become couldn't.
Yes.
Right.
He has certainly not. And Oregon's pretty good. This is a potential narrative breaker.
Penn State's a 3.5-point favorite, and I'm just going to ask the question because no one else is going to. Why are we not saying the whole? Well, who have they played when it comes to Oregon?
Well, because they've beaten the bleep out of all of them.
Well, yeah, but who have they played? So that's the same. But I'm just we're having the same kind of conversation, right? Let's go to Roger really quick, who's dialed us in, and he's Hunter Tyler's not having a great night. Roger.
Yeah, my alma mater, Hunter Tyler, nothing. Bamber Earhart, 34 halftime. I want to shout out to Stockline Gamecocks, number 8 wide receiver Nick Harper. He will get 7 catches by like 125 yards.
Roger, continuing with the good mojo for the Gamecock offense. We'll get to them in a minute. Roger, condolences on Hunter Tyler. That's a tough break against a very good team, by the way, in Bamberg Earhart. Bamberg Earhart looking to move to, I believe, either 5-0 or 6-0 on the season. I think they've already played this. This is their 6th game. Boy, it's going to be a tough one to handle. But HKT will bounce back as they typically do. We will bounce back into our number 3 of the program when we come back. We're hitting our halftime break. We'll come back, scores and games that are already progressing into the second half. We'll talk about it all next on the High School Scoreboard Show on the Game. Welcome back into the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission on the Game. As he slides on the headset to begin hour number 3 of the program, we are rolling right along like a boulder going downhill at this point as we move into the 9 o'clock hour. And we're getting very close, folks, to the witching hour of this high school football Friday night. Again, a lot of games got moved due to possible inclement weather. And again, we've seen that play out. It's certainly outside of our windows, and Camden and Dreher are on the TV locally here in Columbia, so we've seen the rain coming down there as well. We'll get you a full look at the scoreboard here in just a moment once it gets reset. We had a conversation earlier with Coach Marlon Taylor of the Lower Richland Diamond Hornets, as well as the starting quarterback for the Irmo Yellow Jackets, Drayvon Dobson. You can go back and listen to both of those.
A lot of really good stuff there.
I would encourage you to do that after the program, tomorrow. Listen, South Carolina doesn't play till 7:45. You got all day. Oh, well, until noon. Until noon.
Yes.
Because there are a lot of great games. But we have some phone calls to get to. 803-404-6100. Willie leads us off in hour number 3. What you got, Willie?
Glad to lead off for you on the number 1 sports talk station of all time, WNKT 107.5 The Game. What's happening, gentlemen? How you doing?
Oh, we're doing good, Willie. Obviously, you are in A+ form tonight. What games are we monitoring from where you are?
Well, right now I can tell you my OW Bruins ranked 8th in the state in Class 3A. They have a bye week, and of course, they're keeping their eyes out on Fox Creek High School, who's got a game in Barnwell County against the Blue Devils of Williston Elko. Don't have a score on that one, but I do have a score from the Swamp in Lake Marion High School, the Swamp, Santee, South Carolina. At the halftime, homecoming for Lake Marion. The Lake Marion Gators 19, Allendale Fairfax 0.
Ooh. All right. Putting it on them.
Defense. Defense.
We appreciate it, Willie. Look forward to hearing from you again throughout the night. Rogers already got you up 2-1, so got to even that score up a little bit, bud.
Looks like I got some catching up to do. I got you, Roger.
All right. We look forward to hearing from Willie here a little bit later on. We stay on the phone lines and go to Kale next. Kale continues our cavalcade of guests. What you got?
Hey, guys. We are here in Blythewood for Westwood versus number 11, Ridgeview. So no scores have happened in the third quarter. It's still 32-8, but there are turnovers that have happened. So in Westwood's opening drive, they ended up fumbling the ball. Cameron Cunningham fumbled, and then Ridgeview ends up throwing an interception to number 2, Justin Washington, for Westwood. And then 2 plays later, number 25, Kingston Lucas for Ridgeview, gets the ball right back. So it's been a turnover fest here. But Ridgeview still playing most of their starters, as they are now on the 12-yard line of Westwood, trying to get in the 40s in this rivalry game, as it is 32-8 with 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
32-8. I mean, overall assessment of the game so far, we're 3 quarters in. Obviously, Ridgeview is dominating a lot. What do you like from what they're doing, both offensive and defensively? One of the biggest stories of the year was them having to adjust to losing a quarterback at the beginning of the season and having to really put a lot of faith in a really young player, and that young player stepping up and being really impressive. What do you like about that offensive unit tonight?
So a name that you guys need to know, Spencer Bobian, number 23, junior running back, 5'7", looks small, one of the toughest runners I've seen all season long. He is definitely one of the best running backs in the state. Their running core is exceptional. I know I said earlier that Ryan Williams also has 2 touchdowns for the Blazers. Their rushing attack looks phenomenal. But I do want to say, I want to give credit to Westwood's defense. They have been on the field all night, and they have come up with multiple fourth down stops. So is Westwood able to compete with Ridgeview? No. But can Westwood run the table and maybe get a playoff win or 2 in 5A and surprise some people? I definitely think they could. I think that Westwood could finish the season 7-3.
Ooh, that's high confidence. High confidence. But for anybody who wants to watch the last quarter of this game, Kale, where can they do it?
You can come on to Savage College Football on Instagram to watch the final few minutes of the Red Hawks and the Blazers. If you are a fan of a team that plays them later on in the season, or you're a fan of either of these teams, or if you just want to watch a high school football game while you listen to the best high school football coverage in the state on the best radio station in the state, come on over, have yourself a little high school football party, as we will be going on live the rest of the game.
That's our buddy Cale Wilson. He is at the game of the week for us, and that's Ridgeview and Westwood. We appreciate it, man. Look forward to hearing from you a little bit later on. I did talk to Coach Burris from Westwood earlier this week, Mr. Campbell, and they were really intentional about we need to stop the run. We have to stop the run to stay in this ball game, and it has not worked as planned.
No, easier said than done against that group, I will say. Easier said than done.
No doubt about that. Let's see here what we've got on the scoreboard that has now been refreshed one more time to make sure we get this right. Wilson and Hartsville tied at 14 at last check, second quarter. Strom-Thurmond trails the Red Devils of Lincoln County at Lincolnton, Georgia, 7-6. Colleton Prep leads Bruford Academy 12-0. And final score in Darlington, Trinity Collegiate takes down Northside Christian 27-0. Pinewood Prep up on Hilton Head Christian 35-7. The Bears of Carvers Bay lead Green Sea Floyds 14-0. At the half, it's 42-8. Bamberg Earhart over Hunter Kiner Tyler. Fourth quarter in Pageland. The Pageland Central Eagles lead the Sherrall Braves 34-27. North Central shutting out Buford, 42-0. Hanahan over Andrews 14-0. Swansea leading Columbia 28-6.
Ooh.
Barnwell.
Swansea doing Swansea stuff again, I see.
Yeah, Barnwell being shut out by Silver Bluff 49-0. Fox Creek over Williston Elko 35-8. Clinton over Union County 40-0. How about this ball game at the half? Crescent leads Liberty 22-21. And the BHP Bears, the number one team in their classification, leading Chapman 31-0 right now at the half. And Bluffton trailing Hilton Head Island 21-14. Bishop England up on Woodland 35-6. How about our Darlington Falcons?
Hey, they bad week last week.
They lead Lakewood 42-0.
Way to bounce back, Darlington. Way to bounce back.
That's what we
Ran
like to
into
see.
a buzzsaw against Little Richland last week. Needed this one this week.
Let's go back to the phones. 803-404-6100. Willie joins us once again. Second time in 5 minutes.
That's right. Just call Darlington High School the pride of the PD, laying a whooping on that team. I tell you. And speaking of that, from the Skeezer League, Holly Hill Academy over Cathedral Academy, 26-6. Also, we have a score from the Low Country, Bishop England leading Woodland, 35-6. That game is in the third quarter.
Thank you, Willie. We appreciate it. Back tied up, 2-2.
Good stuff, our man. Appreciate you, Willie.
Sumter went to Lugoff Elgin tonight, Mr. Campbell.
How's that one going? Honestly, underrated game of the night in terms of two, going into it, underrated game of the night, two teams with some offensive firepower, two teams with good resumes.
If I put the over-under at 32 combined points and the score I'm about to give you, would you go over or under?
I would have hammered the over going into it, but when you put it at 32 and you say it like that.
They've scored 84 points.
Oh!
Combined. Sumter leads 50-34.
Well, I did lead off the analysis of that game with two explosive offenses, and the two explosive offenses are doing two explosive offensive things.
Catawba Ridge and Northwestern.
Woo!
Northwestern and Catawba Ridge have combined for 70 points. 56 of them are Northwestern. They lead 56-14. Don't mess with a Page Wolford team. Don't do it. They score.
Speaking of teams with explosive offenses.
And they score some more. And they're one of the more consistent teams in this state since COVID. And that's our marker in time, right?
Seemingly, yeah.
It's like it used to be BC and AD. Now it's BC and AC before COVID and after COVID. Since 2020, since the COVID year, Northwestern has lost like 10 games in the regular season.
Averaging what? 2 a year?
Ish.
It's not a lot.
Averaging
a
2
lot
a year and not saying they're going to have 2 every year, if that makes sense.
Yes. Because there are some undefeateds in there.
Dorman leads Burns 23-14. That one's at the half. Greenwood over Hillcrest 17-7. I do have stats from our buddy Bill. Here we go. Greenwood's up 17-7. They've outgained Hillcrest 209-183. They've held Hillcrest to 60 yards rushing.
We reeled off some numbers about Greenwood's run defense earlier in the show that borderline disturbing.
Yes.
It proved to be a real Achilles heel. Playing a really good Hillcrest team tonight and holding them to that on the ground. I mean, still some game left, but knowing that only 60 yards on the ground is a better pace than what they've done defensively on the ground.
Reminder, T.L. Hanna ran for 270 last week.
Whew.
270. And I'm looking back for the previous game. Lexington ran for 69.
Nice.
So, again, when Greenwood is containing the opposition's run game, things typically go well for the Greenwood Eagles. Woodmont leads easily 22-10. We mentioned Eau Claire fell to Pillion last night, 48-30. But I've got to mention that they have now surpassed their combined win total from 2019 to 2024 at Eau Claire.
They're a good team this year. That's a good team. And maybe if we have to put a list of the most improved teams in 2025, honestly, Eau Claire, along with Spring Valley, in terms of teams hyper-local to the studio we're sitting in right now, you would consider putting on that list.
I would. If I got a final score, Central 34, Sherrall 27, final. Silver Bluff splattered Barnwell tonight. Final score 49-6.
Tough year for Barnwell.
Silver Bluff's got to go to Newberry next week.
Good luck.
And
we have a score from Newberry. That was a game, too. High on the radar.
I haven't seen anything from Hammond hosting Northwood either.
Newberry at Saluda. If anyone's got any info on that one, we're efforting it.
Industry term.
Industry term.
Spencer Bobie and 1-yard touchdown puts Ridgeview up 39-8. 10 minutes to go in the ball game. All right, here you go. Starting the second half at Burns, Dorman is getting the ball to start the second half. Just if you are a Burns fan, you're probably going to need a stop.
I would say you definitely need to stop. Stop the bleeding here.
Lawrence Manning leading 41-0 over Ben Lippen. Our buddy Joe Pollock giving an update here. They're now under a lightning delay and have been told to evacuate to their vehicles.
Ooh.
Leave the stadium, go to your vehicles.
I was afraid we were going to get a lot of that tonight.
We're starting to get it. I think there's a storm rolling through somewhere, and that is leading to a delay there. As we mentioned, Wilson and Hartsville tied at 14.
Camden just scored a touchdown. PAT pending. They're up on Drea, 29-0.
Alex English ain't walking through that door.
He's not. And he scored a lot of points, just in a different sport.
Just in a round ball, throwing it into a hoop.
But he did it at the professional level more than anybody in the 1980s.
Okay, so
leader of the decade in scoring.
When you're looking, a wildly underrated pro.
Yes.
In the NBA. Wildly underrated. So that leads me back to my Asia Wilson discussion. Asia, Alex English.
Surpasses Alex English.
Sure, but those are two that are up there.
Two up there, yeah.
Okay. Football? This isn't just a University of South Carolina player. It's a player from the state.
Was A.J. Green ever considered the best receiver in the NFL? Well, he was kind of like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
He played behind a couple of also just... Not behind, played in the league with some guys that are
that
some of the best in the history of the game, like Julio Jones.
Alshon Jeffrey would fall in that same category.
Yeah, Alshon Jeffrey.
Baseball? Can't think of anything. I can't think
None that would be considered the best at the sport.
At the major league level.
Yes.
Hard to get to.
Well, they called the touchdown back as a penalty for Camden, and they just ran the ball right up the middle and scored again the very next play. So just kidding.
You can take it back. We're just going to take it right back.
We'll just score again. And, there's another flag on the play. We're going to do this for a third time?
North Augusta.
The ref looks like Chris Deering.
He's turned the opposite way.
White hat.
I need him to turn around. Is it Chris? It's Deering's doppelganger.
That's right.
Or
is it Chris Deering? I don't know if I've seen him and this official in the same room at the same time.
One could say that hasn't happened yet. Still looking at a 20-0 score from White Oak. We're looking for a couple of scores here, so we need your help. Saluda and Newberry, Hammond and Northwood. I don't have a score for them.
Haven't found anything on them.
Haven't seen anything for them. Do we have a score update on the Mets and the Marlins?
Unfortunately, well, the Marlins have, with the help of a 6-run inning, they are in the 7th right now. Marlins up 6-2. Braves tied at 1 with the Brewers. Brewers got 1 on and 1 gone, but just stranded the bases loaded after Cabrian Hayes hit into a double play. That's why if you're watching on YouTube, you almost saw me throw my computer across.
The Braves. Hooray. You know what makes my blood boil?
Brian Hayes.
84 wins probably gets you in. I think 84 wins would have gotten you a playoff position. In
the Reds are in striking distance. They have 81.
84 wins. Just 84 in a 162 game season.
Chester beats Keenan 35-6.
Look at that. Ooh, poor William Jefferson.
The Fighting Devin Downies.
There you go. Good pull. Good pull there from Mr. Campbell. So if you've got a score on Hammond and Northwood or Saluda, Newberry, we'd love to have it. The Cyclones of Chester, by the way, have evened their record at 3-3. Region play for them will begin next week, as it will for Keenan. Fort Mill, the Fighting Jack Veltries lead Clover 16-7 at the break, at the halftime break in that ball game. And Myrtle Beach leading Cane Bay 21-14 in the third quarter. Let's go back out to the phones before we hit a break. Willie joins us. Go ahead, Willie.
Yeah, you were asking about the Newberry and Saluda game?
Yes.
Well, here it is for you. Newberry 21, Saluda 0. I think that game's in the third quarter.
Thank you, Willie.
Well done, Willie.
5-star general, immediately promoted. Congratulations. We'll have a pinning ceremony wherever you want. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
And by the way, go SC State, beat those Buccaneers tomorrow.
There's an SC State shout-out. Hey,
Yeah,
I like Coach Dennis Berry a lot.
He's a winner.
And I like that ball club. I really do. I hope for great things for them this season. We'll come back. We got more scores coming for you. Gray Collegiate's leading 31-20 over North Augusta.
When did that happen?
I'm asking that as a question. I'm going to effort that in the break. We'll come back. We'll look at the SEC slate. And I have a trivia question for you. When was the last time South Carolina hosted Kentucky and the game didn't kick off at night? You'll find out next. Welcome back into the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission on the Game. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell with you on a Friday night. We are rolling along in hour number 3. I got to say, this show flying by lately.
It has been. Even though I'm about to
look up.
sweat my Pete Rose jersey off here keeping up with this game. My God.
Be careful.
I haven't been this nervous for a baseball game in years.
Well, I remember those days.
You know what? It feels good to be in this position. For once.
Yeah.
For once.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's great. Actually, for a lot of the years, the Braves were really good over this stretch. You have to worry about that until the playoffs. The one year was the Mets year where you caught them and you chased them down, you caught them, you passed them, and then you flamed out against the Phillies the first time. Not the second time. Anyway, it's not the point. The Great Collegiate War Eagles are leading North Augusta. They have stormed ahead.
That's a surge. That is
According
a
to Chris
scoring
Deering.
surge. Now, they were down how much at one point? At last check, they were down, 3 points? 13-10 ball
It was
game?
20-17 at one point. Let me go back and make sure. I'm gonna try to follow. Chris tweets a lot, so just give me a second. It's like he's covering all high school football across the state. It's
He's
crazy.
a machine.
Let me make sure I get this correct. So they were down 20-17. It is now, make sure I get the score right. It is now 31-20, Great Collegiate, with under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. A kick return for North Augusta, a big hit, fumble. Gray recovers the fumble. So they're up 11, 31-20 in the third quarter, and North Augusta fumbles the kickoff return, and oh boy, Gray could put this thing out of reach.
I did not see that. No, I did not see that coming, especially after the game Mike Doe was having.
They've answered the bell on Mike Doe in the second half.
A guy who had, 164 yards rushing in the first quarter?
Can confirm.
Good night.
And they've answered the bell on him, and that's allowed their offense to stay on the field and get going. So Great Collegiate has an opportunity here to move to 2-0 in the region and kind of put a vice grip on it, if you want me to be honest, because my alma mater plays in that region. I'm just going to tell you, that region ain't very good this year.
The region ain't. Yeah, it's not what it was last year, but I think there's a lot of parity. At least I thought.
Sure. But it's just not deep.
No.
In terms of...
Not what it was last year.
Yeah, and I got to be careful what I'm saying here. It's just not deep in terms of teams I believe could make a run in the playoffs. Let me put it that way.
Yes.
I believe North Augusta can. I believe Gray can. Midland Valley could win a game or two. That's about it. No offense to our friends at Gilbert or Brookman Casey or South Aiken or Airport. It's just things that I have a hard time seeing right now. And again, it's the last Friday in September. You got a whole month to, I'm holding up the cardboard sign, change my mind. By the way, Arizona State and TCU have just kicked off. It's early. Actually, about halfway through the first quarter now. No score in that one. Arizona State quickly, an unranked ball club. Virginia has taken the lead on Florida State. It is 28-21. Virginia, the Who's, leading Florida State right now. And as it stands, we're looking at a few more games here. Florence Christian at last check, a 3-0 lead over Wilson Hall. Talk about defense in that one. Carvers Bay leads Green Sea Floyds 20-0. Camden over Dreher, 30-0 in the third quarter. See what we got here coming in on the scoreboards. We continue to look around the state of South Carolina. Dorman leads Burns 26-14. But on a 3rd down and 11, Chew Harris gets his second touchdown of the day. Screen pass, 68 yards, 7:27 to go in the third quarter. Burns back within a score. It's 26-21. Dorman with 7.5 to go in the third quarter.
Shannon just called in. Heathwood Hall beats Porter Gowd 22-21. A 2-point conversion at the end of the game with 57 seconds left gives Heathwood Hall a big win in the Skeeza ranks over the Skeeza, runner-up. That classification's runner-up.
Porter Gowd's really good.
Yeah, Porter Gowd is really good. Heathwood with a huge win tonight. Love, and I always love, when a coach goes for 2 to win the game.
Yeah, why send it to overtime? Why not just win it right now? It's easy for me to say, by the way.
Oh, if you trust your offense, you think about it this way. You have limited the game down to one play. You have the ball. You're in control. You're only 2 yards away from winning. Yeah, why wouldn't you take it?
Correct. By the way, I don't know if you're interested in this, Mr. Campbell. I have a background that draws me to this team for whatever reason, but the Bananas are playing in the Astros Stadium
Okay.
right now. They didn't do the banana ball thing when I was calling games at Grayson Stadium when the Blowfish would travel there. It was
normal baseball.
It was normal baseball. Andre Johnson, former Texan,
Hall of Famer.
came in to pinch run, and he was caught in a double play on the very next pitch. On the very next pitch, a 6-4-3 through the legs double play. And they're playing in cowboy hats because,
Classic.
of course we are. Of course we are. Oceanside Collegiate leads 40-0 over the Atlantic Collegiate Armada. But it's 40-0.
Yeah, great name, though.
Running clock at Northwestern because they're really good.
Forrest Gump. It just kept running.
Field goal for Gray Collegiate after the fumble. They lead 34-20, so it's a 14-point ball game.
Okay, it's 2 possessions, but this is a must-score drive for North Augusta.
North Augusta's got to strap up here a little bit. T.L. Hanna leads Malden 21-7 in the second half. Into the third at Union County, 47-0. Clinton bounce back. And a running clock going to the fourth quarter there. Touchdown Gaffney, a pick 6. They lead Spartanburg 14-7, 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. And we mentioned Burns has drawn a bit closer. Abbeville leads 20-13. A fake punt goes 62 yards to the house for a touchdown. Point after is no good. So it's 20-13 Abbeville over West Side. 7:59 to go in the ball game, folks. In the ball game. Abbeville leads by 7. The Fighting
Lunchtime.
Preston Thorns of Somerville lead Goose Creek 48-0 after 3 quarters. Now I'm just gonna send you, because you probably aren't seeing this tweet right now, Mr. Campbell. I'm just gonna send you the scoring graphic that they just used, and you tell me what dichotomy you see between these two teams. And when you see it, you just let me know.
Love a scoring graphic. Love it.
They're good scoring graphics. I mean, Somerville's always got good stuff, but you'll see why Goose Creek is trailing by the amount they are. Let's see here. A few more scores. We're waiting on that. By the way, Asia Wilson has passed Brittany Griner for third all-time on the playoffs blocks list.
Ooh.
She has 108.
Goat.
Who are the
Oh,
two?
good Lord, 48-0.
Yeah, but look at the dichotomy in the players.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That
Somerville's
poor
big.
kid. So it looks like this is what, a sack? A play that happens on a sack.
It would appear that way.
The player, you can't convince me, is not Preston Thorne in a football uniform right now. And the poor kid at Goose Creek.
I hate it. I hate it for him.
Looks like he's 12 years old.
Yep.
Oh no. Oh no. Mismatch. Oh, that is foul.
That is a mismatch.
Check his birth certificate.
Asia.
That's a big man.
So Asia Wilson is now third all-time on the WNBA playoff blocks list. Can you name the two in front of her? She's got 108 blocks,
Lisa
by the way.
Leslie has to be up there.
She's number 1 with 132. Who's number 2?
Oh, man.
I will tell you that 4 is Brittany Griner. Brianna Stewart is tied for 7th. Sylvia Fowles is 9. Who would number 2 be? If you would like a hint, I can give you a hint.
Give me a college.
I can't give you a college. The college would give it away. I'll give you the
Candace
conference.
Parker.
That is correct.
Yes.
If I told you Tennessee, you'd know.
And that would
right?
be that'd be the giveaway.
Right. You would know immediately.
I was
but-
fishing for too good of a hint.
Yeah. Yeah. But I was going to give you conference. That'd have made it a little tougher, I think. Well, Mike Doe has just scored his 3rd touchdown.
Well, we said it was a must-score drive. I know they scored. So way to answer the bell.
Laid down by the scoreboard show. So North Augusta now trailing 34-27. Of their 27 points, 18 of them, because it's 6 points for a touchdown. Those are 6-point conversions. 20 of them have been scored by Mike Doe. 20 of them.
I would say he has a stranglehold on that offense. He kind of is the straw that stirs the drink to put out other classic sports sayings, cliches.
Straw that stirs the drink is a good one. He's the motor. R&E leads Lancaster 14-6. It's the first time I've seen that score tonight. R&E is winless. R&E is winless coming into tonight. They can get a win right now. By the way, Westside has just converted. They're now down to the Abbeville 9. Down on the coast, it's 28-14, Myrtle Beach over Cane Bay. Westwood trails Ridgeview 46-8 with a minute left to go in the ball game. That game is just about over. And we mentioned this one, Trinity Collegiate 27, Northside Christian 0. It's homecoming in a lot of places, by the way. Spring Valley celebrating homecoming tonight, and, well, Blythewood really liked that. 93-yard catch and run for Chance Johnson, and Blythewood leads Spring Valley 25-0 with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Gamecock women's soccer leads Oklahoma 2-0 after a corner kick.
Ooh, I love a good corner kick goal.
2-0 there. So a lot of action going on around the state. We'll continue to monitor those. When we come back, we look ahead to your SEC Saturday. That's next on the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission on the Game. Welcome back to the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission on the Game. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell with you on a Friday evening. It is tied up again in Charlottesville, 28-28. Florida State and Virginia going back and forth on a Friday night. 18 seconds left to go in that one. TCU leads Arizona State 6-0, but we go to the phones, and we got our first coach of the night at 9:30. Coach Oz.
The plus side to moving some things around.
Hey, I'm okay with a 6 o'clock kick if it gets us this, and Coach gets to get home early. Coach Oz from the Gilbert Indians. It was homecoming tonight down in Gilbert, America.
Well, we ended up having to change that with all the weather and craziness, so we ended up kicking off at 6:30 and moving our homecoming, so it was crazy.
So homecoming was not tonight, but Gilbert did play in Gilbert, America. Tell us about what happened down there tonight.
Oh, well, I mean, it was a little sloppy fest. It was very wet. It was very wet and rainy in the first half. Just sloppy. We fumbled the ball, and but it was 7-7 at halftime, and we just came out and played better in the second half. We scored 23 straight and was able to put things away.
Yeah, I mean, scoring 23 straight, good way to pull away during the game. What'd you like in your offense there in that scoring outburst?
We tried a new quarterback, but the biggest thing is we wanted to be physical and wanted to really try to get back to us after a tough loss last week. And, we have some playmakers that we've been just really trying to get them involved and get them make plays. And we had two guys, Taylor Guthrie, who I think is a really special player. And as a junior, he got a jet sweep and took it for a touchdown, about 45 or 50 yards. And then Adam Lepley, a receiver, who we've been trying to get going, and he finally got going. He took a jet sweep, broke 4 or 5 tackles, and took it 45 yards for a touchdown, and that kind of helped things out.
So, Coach, you guys take care of the Green Hornets tonight. Again, Aiken's having a resurgent year, as a lot of teams are in the state, specifically in the Midlands and the CSRA this season. But now you're in the midst of region play, and you guys moved to 1-1, which is very important to get that first region win. You got 2 road games coming up in South Aiken and Midland Valley. What's the message to your team as you guys are now in the midst of, a lot of games in a row? I'll put it that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the same message that we preached last year. We were in the same position last year, slow start at 1-3, and the message is simple. I don't do a bunch of the fluff. We gotta be physical, execute, and be disciplined. And at the end of the day, all those things are controllable by us. And tonight was really just trying to get back at us and trying to get back to a style of football that we can be proud of. And we're still out there. It's still a work in progress. But I do for a team that's got a lot of experienced kids, at the end of the day, we're not going to panic because we lost a couple games. We know there's some games that we should have won that we let slip away. And our mindset is simple. It's the next game, and let's focus and dominate.
And what do you think you mentioned some games that you think you guys should have won, let slip away, but were able to really keep your foot on the pedal tonight. What have you think your team has learned kind of throughout this process to be able to get to where you're ramping up now that you're 2 games into region play?
Well, at the end of the day, if you don't, our region's tough. I mean, Aiken's a lot better than last year and a lot tougher. At the end of the day, if you don't come right and come prepared and don't have your mind right, then you can get beat or at least be in a dogfight. And so our biggest thing is the approach, and it's hard with high school kids, but I think it's on the coaches and how we prep, that we mentally have the right approach every single day to how we approach practices and how we approach games. Every opponent's a really big opponent, and so we treat every team like it's the very best team. So we got to rise up to the challenge. And so next week, South Aiken is that next challenge, and our guys are happy. But I told them in the locker room, we didn't do anything yet. We won a football game. We haven't done anything yet, so we still got to be hungry.
Coach Oz from Gilbert, America, victorious Gilbert, America tonight, and they don't return there until the middle of October. You'll be buying a lot of Halloween candy the next time Gilbert plays at home. That's in 3 weeks against Brooklyn Casey, and then they got back-to-backs against Brooklyn Casey and Airport. I talked to Coach Bush from North Augusta a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to deliver the same message to you as an alum. I'm not going to tell you can't beat Airport, Coach, but just keep me in mind. Okay? Just keep me in mind. That's all I'm asking. And remember,
there's Justin too much.
Yeah, just don't embarrass me too much. Okay? That's all I'm asking.
Notice he didn't say them. He said him,
me
personally.
Me.
Yes,
specifically me.
Personal favor.
I appreciate it, Coach. Always appreciate your time with us. We look forward to talking to you again more throughout this season.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It's Coach Oz from the Gilbert Indians. Gilbert America successful tonight, winning tonight. A happy locker room. They're 1-1 in region. They're 2-3 overall. But again, region wins are what matter, folks. I want to remind you that one more region win, they're in. And specifically, it has a lot to do with your standings within the region. Just putting that out there. As we look across, Pinewood Prep was up big on Hilton Head Christian, 35-7 earlier. Going to click the old refresh button to see how that game is moving along, as others are as well. Lincoln County out of Georgia is leading Strom Thurmond 24-6. Wilson is up on Hartsville at Kellytown. You don't just walk into Kellytown. But,
no one does.
But Wilson's doing it right now. They're up 21-14.
Well, I guess the W stands for, and Wilson stands for walking in there.
I'm going to go ahead and let you know, Bamberg Earhart's up on Hunter Kyler Tyler 62-8.
Oh, the Fighting Rogers.
We go to Willie.
No.
We go to Willie next on the phone lines. Willie, what you got?
Okay, I got a few scores for you. In the third quarter, a game of interest to OW Bruin Nation. Fox Creek is leading Williston Elko, the Blue Devils out of Williston, South Carolina, Barnwell County, 42-8. Swansea is leading Columbia 28-6 in the third quarter. Also, down in the low country, Bishop England, the Battling Bishops out of Daniel Island, South Carolina. That's Charleston County. They're leading Woodland by the score 35-6 in the third quarter. Lake Marion in their homecoming leading Allendale Fairfax 19-0. That game's in the third quarter. Also in the Skeezer League, Andrew Jackson Academy leading Clarendon Hope 13-0. And Holly Hill Academy over Cathedral Academy 42-18.
Thank you, Willie. Appreciate it. That's a great call, man. As always, giving us a lot of great scores. We appreciate it. We're rolling toward another break here in just a moment. Before we get to that one, I've been teasing it all night, so we might as well get to it. I've got the SEC slate, Mr. Campbell, and then I've got a trivia question for you.
I love trivia questions.
All right, tomorrow at noon, Arkansas hosts Notre Dame.
The Hogs.
Notre Dame's ranked 22.
I can justify ranking them now after winning. Your 2 losses are to top 10 teams. I don't know how much I can punish you.
Vanderbilt hosts Utah State. Do you know who Vanderbilt has next week?
Would that be Alabama?
It would be.
Oh, one of the juicier games on the SEC slate. And I never thought that Vanderbilt versus Alabama would fit that criteria.
In
Not
Tuscaloosa.
once in my life. Yeah, in Tuscaloosa.
That's usually a
house of horrors for that program.
Number 13, Ole Miss hosts number 4, LSU. I like the Rebels in that one, by the way. A lot, actually. Texas A&M hosts Auburn at the same time, 3:30.
I like Texas A&M a lot in that one. I know a lot of people. Auburn really should have beaten Oklahoma. They let that one slip.
So did the officials.
Jackson Arnold made sure that official slip up early in the game cost him.
Yep, agreed.
10 sacks, and I would say he took 6 of them. 6 of them, it's one of those, like, you just got to get rid of the ball, son.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he was really bad in that game. I think A&M's going to – A&M might spook him a little bit.
Tennessee is number 15 in the country. They travel to Klanga to take on Mississippi State. Beware Blake Shapen. Beware.
Blake Shapen's good.
The cowbell. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
I love this matchup because this game's basically the Spider-Man meme. They're pointing at each other.
Yeah.
Exact same offenses. Same Art Briles coaching philosophy of spreading things out, wide receivers basically hugging the boundary. It's a lot of the similar type of football, a lot of air raid type stuff.
Absolutely.
It's good. That one's going to be fun. If you like a lot of pass attempts, that's your game.
I would make a joke about Missouri playing UMass, but Missouri handled the Gamecocks last week and handled them physically, so I'm not gonna make the joke. Missouri, number 20 in the country, they host UMass tomorrow at 7:30 on ESPNU. The game of the week in the SEC is Georgia hosting Alabama at Sanford Stadium. Does Kirby Smart finally take care of his Alabama problem? And I know you're saying, oh, they've beaten them. I get it. But it's an Alabama problem. And they got to get that straightened out. By the way, I told you that the Pittsburgh-Louisville game, you could get those tickets for as low as $9 according to ESPN. This Georgia-Alabama game, tickets are going for as low as $377. Let's go to the phone lines again, 803-404-6100. Kale is on with us again, wrapping up that game between Ridgeview and Westwood.
Hey guys, calling you guys from Westwood High School as Ridgeview dominates Westwood 39-8. I've got coach for the Blazers, head coach Derek Howard, and then I'm also going to have running back Spencer Bobie in here momentarily.
All right, let's talk to Coach. Coach Howard, congratulations on the win tonight. I'm just going to go ahead and preface this conversation with these two men in this studio have called you guys the best 2-2 team in the state. And I just got to ask you, how has your team's response to your injury to Trey, how has it impressed you to see them respond the way they have? Not winning every game, obviously, but continuing to fight in every single ball game.
Yeah, well, I mean, the guys believe in each other. They've worked extremely hard, and this is a close-knit group, and there's several seniors on this team that are 3-year varsity football players. I mean, they believe that anytime they're on the field, they got a chance. And obviously, not having Trey hurts, but we've been able to play some young quarterbacks, and they've done a good job of protecting the football, and we've been able to run the football, and we play really good special teams and team defense. I think those three things, being able to run the football on offense and protect the ball, as well as playing really tough defense and playing really good special teams. Today we had a safety, a punt and a safety, and defense gave us the ball back several times in Westwood territory. So I think those things are going to always make us allow us to be in a football game.
Coach, I mean, you're winning any game obviously is a lot of excitement. You beat a really good Westwood team tonight and beat them pretty good, fresh off of a win against Blythewood where they looked really impressive. Defensively, I want to focus in on that. Holding them to 8 points, pretty impressive throughout the course of the night. What's making your defense so click so well as a unit right now?
Yeah, honestly, the kids that play really hard. I honestly believe it's their coaching staff. Ryan Kendall's our defensive coordinator, and we got some really good position coaches on our staff. And every play, they're out there coaching the kids, and they're watching a lot of film with those guys during the week, just preparing them. So I think the kids have gone into every game well prepared, which allows them to play extremely fast. And we're a fast football team. I mean, every single position, even at D-line, we're extremely fast. And I think it's hard to match our team speed. And so I think that's the piece that has helped us and put us in some situations to even be able to compete with teams like Dutch Fork and Northwestern.
Coach, we appreciated your time. Congratulations on the win tonight, and looking forward to seeing how your team and how these Blazers continue to play as we head into the month of October.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate your time.
Of course. And if we've still got Kale, I'm sure Kale has the phone now. This is always fun to do it. And in our situation, we're blind to it. Kale tells us that we should have Mr. Bobian available. And
yes, sir.
All right,
Yes.
What's it like running the ball for you right now, young man? I mean, I've watched a couple clips on Twitter. You're like a bowling ball. You're carrying guys an extra 5 or 10 yards.
Sir.
How does that feel in the moment when you know you've got it really cooking out there?
It feels good, but first and foremost, I really got to thank my old linemen, because without them, it wouldn't be possible.
Look at that.
I just use my skills and use my instinct to do what I do.
They're expecting a lot of food and a lot the meals from you now, man.
The big nasties appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
And as you're the running back, you're the motor of this offense right now. And in a game like this where your offense is really moving, what are you seeing out there as you're collecting big chunk after big chunk? What are you seeing on the field on a night like tonight?
Really just running the ball with space, you know what I'm saying? Using my IQ and, you know what I'm saying, not, you know what I'm saying, yeah.
No, I'm with you. You're seeing the lanes open up. And then we asked Coach about this, and we'll wrap it up with this because I want you to go celebrate with your team. Obviously, Trey Howard goes down with an injury to start the season, but you guys offensively have really not missed a beat, and y'all have rallied around each other. It's visible from the outside. So just really quickly, what can you say about your team being together here in 2025 through some adversity?
It's all about how we, even when Trey got hurt, it's all about how we came to practice the next week with that mindset, we're not going to let this one little mishap ruin our team, make many mistakes. So we moved up with our sophomore quarterback, Ashton Chapman, gave him words of encouragement, and now we're rolling.
Mr. Bobby, and we appreciate it, man. Congratulations. A great game for you tonight individually, but obviously the more important stat, it's another win in the win column, and you guys are above 500 sitting at 3-2. We called you the best 2-2 team in the state. Y'all are the best 3-2 team in the state, in my opinion. Go get them next week. We look forward to watching you. Absolutely. That is a victorious player and coach from Ridgeview. The Blazers are now 3-2. When we come back, we got callers lined up. Rick, we'll get to you after the break. More of the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission coming up on the game. Wrapping up hour number 3 of the program on the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell here with you. If you're watching on the YouTube stream, just be prepared. Mr. Campbell is going to be a nervous wreck for the next who knows how long, as long as this Reds game continues. Because the Mets did what the Mets do. They lost a game they needed to win late in the season to secure a playoff bid. Can you imagine not making the playoffs with Lindor, Soto, and Alonso in the lineup? Not me. I couldn't imagine that.
No. But, you know, it's been a long time since my beloved Cincinnati Reds have played in a real playoff series. I don't really count 2020.
And they came to Atlanta.
They came to Atlanta. It was a best-of-3 series because you only had a 60-game season.
0-0 score through 9 innings.
Atrocious.
Trevor Bauer pitched really well that day.
The Reds are up 3-1, bottom of the 6th in Milwaukee. There's 2 outs, and both teams have dipped into the bullpen. So they hold on here. We're tied in the wild card with 2 games left. The Reds hold the tiebreaker.
The Mets, man. Let's go back to the phones. 803-404-6100. Rick joins us on the phones. What you got for us, Rick?
Hey, it's Rich. Final from North South Carolina. Bamberg 62, HKT 8.
Rich gives us a score that is not going to thrill the cavalcade of Hunter Counter Tyler fans that we have, thanks to Roger. Whew. Bamberg Earhart off to a rip-roaring start, by the way. Rich, is that 5-0 or is that 6-0 now for Bamberg Earhart?
6-0.
And well on their way to 10-0 at this point in my and they got some tough games left on the schedule, but that team is
a buzzsaw.
Legitimate.
They're playing like a buzzsaw.
Yeah, we open up region play next week on the road against Hardyville.
I like your chances against the Hurricanes of Hardyville. Rich, we appreciate it, man. Thank you for the update. That's a whale of a score right there for Bamberg Earhart, and not a great one for Hunter Counter Tyler. I'll put it that way.
No, yeah, Hunter Counter Tyler, not the same team they were last year.
All right, wrapping up hour number 3. I've teased it. I'm going to give it to you. By the way, the Red Sox walk it off against the Detroit Lions, or Detroit Tigers. Excuse me, I'm in the NFL.
Oh, wow, that'd been really impressive.
That'd have been
the Lions
impressive.
were like, you know what, we're going to play baseball tonight.
Why not? Let's try. But the Red Sox win 5-3, a walk-off homer, and they're back in the playoffs.
The Red Sox clinched a playoff spot. How about that?
How about that? How about the Red Sox?
How about the Tigers, too, completely gagging away that division?
Absolutely. Shout out to Tommy Moody, by the way. The Red Sox are back in the playoffs. All right. Now, the Gamecocks host the Kentucky Wildcats tomorrow at 7:45 on these airwaves. 2:30, you can start listening. The pregame show. Local, and then network takes over. 4:30. I will personally be in the stands for this one, unexpectedly, but I'll be there.
You'll be in the house. Justin Hall, ITH.
I can confirm that as a fan or as a spectator, I have never lost in Williams-Brice.
Now, this is the first SEC game as a spectator.
False.
Okay.
I left one off, and I apologize.
Leave one off.
I'm leaving
Okay.
it. 2016, South Carolina, Tennessee. South Carolina knocks off Tennessee with Jake Bentley.
Oh, Tennessee's quarter. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was the year that Tennessee beat Florida and Georgia, and still didn't win the SEC East because they lost to South Carolina.
This was right after the the Hail Mary Hobnail boot thing.
Yep.
Like I think a week or two after.
I think 2 weeks after. Yeah.
Yep. Now, fun night. Carolina wore all black. So the wins that I've accrued are as a spectator: Middle Tennessee State, Louisiana, South Carolina State, Tennessee, Wofford. 5-0.
Maybe you can add Kentucky to the list.
I will say one of the games I covered that they lost was Kentucky in 2017.
Started off good.
Started off great.
About as good as you could have imagined it.
Now, that game in 2017 was also a night game. The game tomorrow is a night game. You need to remember that. Don't show up to the stadium at 7:45. You won't get in the morning.
Nope.
You might not get in at 7:45 at night. All right. When was the last time South Carolina hosted Kentucky and the game kicked off during the day?
Ooh, in Columbia.
In Columbia, because last year it was 3:30 ABC kick in Lexington.
Would that be, because we kind of looked over it vaguely, but I can't remember the year, 2011?
Yes.
Okay. I was like 2011 or 13.
2011, but 2009, 2011 were back-to-back day games, 12 noon kicks as God intended for Kentucky and South Carolina, the Jefferson Pilot Special. And since then, Gamecocks have only played them at night in Williams-Brice. 7:30 or later, or 7 or later, every time. And that's like dark at 7.
It is.
Because of how the seasons work.
And
it's not like one of those early week ones that is still bright at 7.
Still daytime out there now.
So that's happening tomorrow night. Enjoy it if you're going, if you're watching it, enjoy it, and
Anxiety Bowl.
It's
an anxiety bowl.
I'll drop some predictions in as we can through the final hour, but we're careening toward hour number 4. That's coming up next on the game, right here on the High School Scoreboard Show. Welcome back to the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission on the game. Hour number 4, the final one. It's the witching hour. It's 10 o'clock on the East Coast, 7 o'clock on the West Coast. And if you're watching on the West Coast,
welcome.
We thank you.
Getting your night started.
Glad you're
very interesting way.
Glad you're here. We are okay with different time zones because we're not Lincoln Riley, basically.
We won't complain about it.
We won't complain about them. All right.
Especially when you control where you play.
Yeah, there's that. There's that. There's that. Blue Ridge up on Landrum 56-28, efforting to see if that's the final score.
A lot of blowouts tonight.
Fort Mill leads 26-20. The Fighting Jack Veltry's trying to hang on against Clover. The Land Sharks of Oceanside Collegiate have claimed the Pinnacle Cup. They defeat Atlantic Collegiate 47-0. Ware Shoals over Clear Dot Charter. Do you know the mascot for Clear Dot Charter?
The Polkas. The Polka Clear Dot Charters.
No.
Dang.
They're the Bats.
Interesting.
A bat.
It's the first out of all the high school football I've covered in my career in multiple states. That's the first bat.
Yeah, that's true. There are a lot of bats here, though.
Yeah.
There are.
Fair.
It's uncomfortable. Someone who, I don't necessarily think they're vampires, but I don't want to run the risk.
All bat, but no man.
The Bengals of Blythewood lead Spring Valley 46-0, trailing toward the end of that ball game, mercifully. Final score from Lower Richland. I haven't gotten a score of this since it was 6-0 Crestwood at the half, and now I have a final score. Crestwood 27, Lower Richland 14. Final score. I would like to start running numbers, Elijah, on the record of the coaches who we interview the week we interview them.
Now, the first week was the clear 1-1 because we interviewed coaches the week they were playing each other.
Correct. So
1-1 there.
Void, yeah.
1-2 on this one.
Nick Pelham 1, 2-2.
2-2. Trying to think who else we've had.
My
brain is mush.
I'd have to run back through the list. Just something to think about. Something to think about because I'm worried.
See if there's a curse.
I'm worried it's a KOD. Yeah. I'm worried it's a KOD. Burns has turned the ball over with about 5 minutes to play. I'm going to let you know that ball game's over.
Yep. Wow.
It's 33-21 Dorman.
Speaking of turn the ball over, they'll basically ice it. Royce Williamson, INT for Gray Collegiate. They're up 41-27 over North Augusta with 1:17 left.
Great day. And by the way, speaking of turnover, Tommy Castellanos just did it all by his dang self. An interception at the 10 with about 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Virginia leads 35-28.
Virginia's got to get a couple big first downs.
That's unbelievable. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. Actually, no.
It's very believable to me.
It's not unbelievable. It is a bit shocking.
Yeah. I mean, the look ahead. There's a look ahead factor there because Miami's next week. I think there might have been some.
On a Friday night, though? Standalone game?
There's all that along with the look ahead. So the weirdness of the Friday night game. Virginia is not to be played around with, friends. Virginia is not to be played around with. That's a team that can score the points. Barry Manilow writes the songs. Virginia scores the points.
Oh, boy. Abbeville has gone final with Westside. A deep ball for Abbeville goes to the back of the end zone and off of the hands of the wide receiver. Westside wins 26-20. That's a comeback.
Escape.
Panthers.
Vertex PT Specialists come back to the night.
Correct. Panthers fall to 3-2. They host McCormick next week for homecoming. Final from Union County. Clennon 60. Union County nothing. Clennon back to 3-3 on the year. We mentioned Fort Mill 26-20 over Clover. Game delay at the Bab for Greenwood. The stadium lights went out. In case you're interested.
A la 2013 Super Bowl.
Yeah, Beyonce wasn't there though, as far as I'm aware. The lights went out, but the power is still on in the stadium. It's just the lights went out. With 5 minutes to go in the game, Greenwood is leading Hillcrest 24-20. Does someone flip a switch?
On and off the field.
All I'm asking.
My man Carlton, give me an update on Midland Valley and BC. 34-7 Midland Valley, 2.5 left.
Yeah, Midland Valley doing what they're supposed to do. By the way, that turnover, it was 4th and 1 for Florida State. And backpedaling, throwing off his back foot, Tommy Castellanos throws that interception.
And it might not have been an interception. It might have hit the ground. If you're Virginia, you'd rather it hit the ground, give you a little more real estate to work with.
Yeah, you're right. And in fact, it looks like it might have just been a turnover on downs. I haven't seen a signal yet. So either way, it's a turnover. Just one's on downs and one's via an actual statistical category turnover. And they did rule it incomplete. So 2:43 to go in the ball game. Virginia needs to pick up, what do you think, 2 first downs? Since we have a 2-minute timeout in college football now. Not a 2-minute warning. Can't call it that.
Nope.
It's a 2-minute timeout.
Yep, and Mike Norvell wisely going ahead and take that first timeout pretty quick.
Smart. Final score at Spring Valley, Blythewood wins 46-0.
Oof. That, you know what the B in Blythewood stands for? Bounce back.
True.
It's a good bounce back win for them.
The Lady Gamecocks, or the women's soccer team, get the win over Oklahoma tonight on the road, 2-0. By the way, this is the number 12 ranked women's soccer team at the University of South Carolina. White Knoll leads Fort Dorchester 33-0 in the fourth quarter.
Nick Pelham team pitching a shutout. I'm stunned.
Back-to-back trips down to the coast, by the way. Cane Bay.
Oh, wow, yeah, that's true. They've racking up some miles.
They are. Swansea up 28-6 on Columbia. Showing Richland Northeast over Lancaster 7-6 at the half. Obviously, that's progressed. Final score in at Gray Collegiate. Gray Collegiate 41, North Augusta 27.
Big night from Royce Williamson.
I'm not stunned by the outcome. I'm stunned by the score.
Yeah, I am too. I could have seen a scenario where Gray Collegiate wins. Gray Collegiate's a really good football team. But to win the manner they did, especially how they started defensively with North Augusta's ground game, Mike Doe having, 160-plus yards rushing in the first quarter, and then to basically make him a non-factor the rest of the game. Good coaching win for the War Eagles there, making some adjustments.
Well, I'm looking at North Augusta's first 5 games of the season, Mr. Campbell, and points scored against them. Keep in mind they gave up 41 tonight. They gave up 7 and then 3, so that's 10. And then 21, so that gets you to 31. Strom Thurmond scored 13, so you're up to 44. And Gilbert scored 14, so you're up to 58. You gave up 58 points in 5 games, and you gave up 41 points tonight.
Smidge over 11 points a game that you gave up, and then you gave up 41.
And you're not stepping up in competition necessarily. Thompson's a really good team out of Georgia. Lexington's good. Strom Thurmond's got a good ball club this year. I mean, Gilbert's a worthy adversary in your region, as we talked to Coach Oz earlier. Virginia did not get the first down on 3rd down and 3. So Florida State can hold that timeout if they want to. Nope, they took it. So Florida State took the timeout. 2:22 to go in the ball game. They're going to get the ball and get a built-in timeout with the 2-minute timeout, not a 2-minute warning, because we don't do those in college football, apparently. We call it the 2-minute timeout. So Florida State's got an opportunity here, down by 7, to make something happen. Let's go to the phones. Willie up first for us here in hour number 4. What you got for us, Willie?
Okay, got a few other scores for you. You mentioned the Swansea Columbia score. Well, Newberry's doing pretty much the same as Saluda, 35-0. That's in the fourth quarter. Also, a game of interest to Bruin Nation. Fox Creek is leading Williston Elko now 49-0. That game's in the fourth quarter. And I say that because they win this game, that will set up a huge battle of unbeatens between Fox Creek and Orangeburg Wilkinson. Both teams are unbeaten, and they are ranked in Class 3A, along with the likes of Swansea and Newberry. So 4A and 6A teams going at it, and with region play in the playoffs just around the corner, look out, it's going to be something.
That is going to be a fun couple of region battles to look at as we move into the month of October, Willie, no doubt about that. Let's stay on the phones and go to our buddy Nathan Martin. A good win for Camden tonight over Dreer. It was rainy, it was messy, it was stormy, it was everything in between, but the Bulldogs protect Zemp Stadium, and I'm sure, Nathan, y'all are glad to be back at Zemp after a couple weeks on the road.
It feels like 2 months being on the road. But, yes, definitely always a good time here to Storage Stadium. Look, this game was nasty. Yeah, it started out with a lightning delay that fortunately did not push the kickoff time back, thank goodness. But Camden did pretty much what we've done in the last couple weeks, and that is, pound the rock with Navier Boykin, who had a good night running the football. Grace and Rep had a good night throwing the football. 20 career touchdown passes. By the way, 10 of those have come in the last 2 weeks. So he's heating up at the quarterback position at the right time. And we knew Dreer had a couple people out, and I think they completed 3 passes tonight. 2 or 3, I think, but none of them were downfield. Most of them were to screens. And our defense is flying around making plays. So good to get a 43-0 win, move to 2-0 in region play on a wet and soggy homecoming night.
And no doubt about that. And I want to go back to a game that happened a few weeks ago, Nathan. Obviously, we had a lot of talk about that Ridgeview game. Nothing seemingly went right, but they took it to Westwood tonight. And so as we continue to kind of fill out the season, and we're playing more than just 3 games each, and we're really starting to get an idea of who teams are, I got to believe that game against Ridgeview can really more so now be just viewed as a blip on the radar, a bump in the road, more so than in any sign of what's to come at all.
For sure. And I said it last week, and I'll stand by it. I think Ridgeview's going to win a state championship. I think they're that good. And we did not play Camden Bulldog football that night. Give all the credit in the world to Ridgeview, but I think that game kind of got us a little humbled a little bit, and it really did us well because the last 2 weeks we've come out firing on all cylinders, and now you got South Point coming in next week. And I know this guys down there, you don't have to say anything. They know how that game went last year. It was not pretty at their place. And so they're going to be chomping at the bit to get back on the field next week and see if they can't go compete against a very good South Point team and try to take a stronghold on the top spot in the region.
Great day. I'm already salivating over a Camden South Point game where that Camden defense is trying to contain. Because I don't know if you can stop, but I'm really interested to see how Coach Remp draws things up to try to contain Jasavian Currents next week over at historic Zim Stadium. That might be the game of the week, just off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think the game plan will probably be to slow the game down, right, and try to establish the run game and keep their offense on the sideline. Because good gracious, we know they got those thoroughbreds on offense that can all run. So definitely looking forward to it, and hopefully we can protect Zip Stadium one more time next week and move to 3-0 in region play. Have y'all seen a AC Floor York score? Because the last one we got was like 6-0. That was like years ago, it seems like.
Yeah, I have not. The thing about the weather and the early starts throughout tonight, Nathan, as you know full well, we've been doing this for a long time and a long time working with each other in this avenue. I saw a score for Crestwood and Lower Richland was 6-0 at the half, and I just got a final score, nothing in between. So it's one of those nights that's just really weird, and I haven't seen one. I'm sure I'll get a final score here shortly, and I'll make sure to send it out. But I haven't seen anything yet.
Interesting that I would felt like that floor would be up a little more on York. But I saw that score. I was like, that's interesting. It's 6-0 this late, but obviously the weather could.
I got a final score. I got a final score. AC Flora 27, York 6.
Okay, that sounds more like it should be. But, man, listen, I'm excited for what we got left. Yeah, South Point, Lancaster, York, and Flora. All those games should be really good football games. I'm just tickled to death that 2 weeks in a row we're in historic Zip Stadium. So I'm with you. I'm salivating for next week. We're going to enjoy this for 24 hours, and let's get back to work. Prepare for the Stallions.
Sounds good, Nathan. We appreciate it. Enjoy the game tomorrow, man. Hopefully your Gamecocks can bring home a much needed win as well.
Yeah, remember last year there was a Kentucky game that kind of turned the whole season around. I won't be surprised if the Gamecocks come out for blood tomorrow. Willoughby's rocking. Go Cox.
Thanks, Nathan. Appreciate it. We'll hit a break. I just want to remind everyone that was also week 2 last week. That Old Dominion game was rough, though. I'll give you that.
there was some narratives to have to kill in that Kentucky game, and they did it for a week.
They did. Well, and the LSU game wasn't exactly a moral loss. Put it that way. We'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side. We should be hearing from Coach Nicholas Pelham soon. We'll do that next on the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission on the Game. Welcome back into the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission on the Game. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell. On a Friday night, Florida State has just scored a touchdown with 36 seconds to go in the ball game.
Unbelievable.
I just said I didn't think Tommy Castellanos was a very good quarterback, and then he does that.
You spoke it into existence.
Then he does that. Hold on, we're reviewing.
Oh, did this ball touch the ground? I mean, it was a low-to-the-ground catch.
Diving catch by the wide receiver. Did he have possession? Did he control the ball through the process of the catch? Yeah, he did. That's a catch. That's a catch. His hand's under the ball. That's a catch. If that's not a catch, I don't know what a catch is anymore, and I still don't know.
Well, I don't think we do.
I'm sure Coach Crosby knows what a catch is. Coach joins us on the phone lines. Bamberg Earhart's really good, and so we talked to Coach about that. Coach, big win for you guys tonight, and y'all are, well, I'm just going to say it. Y'all are rolling right now.
Yeah, we're playing good football right now, man. We got a great team, though. We got great leadership, man, and our kids is buying into what we've been doing for the last couple of years, and it's kind of paying off. And our quarterback is playing good, and now he had 8 touchdowns, threw 6, and ran 2. So we're playing great defense, man. This is a great team win right there.
It really is, and you guys put the hammer to an HKT team that needed a good win, needed a win like this. to really get their season really rolling. They had a good start to the year. But for you guys, looking down the stretch now, you're 6-0. You got 4 games left in this season. How do you keep your players engaged? They've experienced the success now. Is it harder when you guys are clicking at this level to keep them hungry, to keep them engaged?
We challenge our kids every day. I think we have tough practice on Monday and Tuesday, man. I mean, it's tough on our coaches. It's tough on our kids. So we kind of challenge them that we make practice harder than the game, and that kind of keep them humble. And we make our kids face adversity during practice. So that's gonna make them better. So I mean, it's not really hard to keep them focused because I mean that practice on Monday and Tuesday is so tough, man. It's tough on me. I tell my wife that I just have to get myself mentally ready to practice on Monday and Tuesday.
That says a lot. You guys offensively, I'm just running through here. I'm just looking at your schedule. You've scored 42, 53, 29. Took a dip there against Barnwell. 48, 48, and tonight 61. I kid, of course. Y'all are playing really good offensive football right now. How does that help you on the defensive side of the football to say, guys, go out there and get a stop or two. We're going to score. Does that loosen up your defense?
It do, because it change what people want to do offensively. So, like they want to run the football, they get down by 2 touchdowns, that's to change the game plan of what they want to do. And we so fast defensively that, you get behind the sticks. And we got great DBs that's going to go and track the ball, and our linebackers are fast. Our D-line is doing a great job. So that help out, man. But our receiver core, our O-line is doing a great job. And our receivers, man, I mean, they take a 4-yard hitch and take it 60 yards. So, I mean, we have great receivers, man. We have 6 receivers that really could play anywhere in the state of South Carolina. So, I mean, that's a blessing to have them guys. So.
Oh, no doubt about that, Coach. We appreciate you giving us a shout. Bamberg Earhart's going on the road next week. They're going to take a trip right down I-26 and going to head down toward Hardeeville. Maybe not 26. You're gonna
95. We're going to 95.
There you go. I'm looking at the map right now. I wanted to get my roads right. Yeah, you guys will hit 95 and head down there to Hardeeville. Y'all are past that 26-95 junction that I have to take every now and again. So y'all will hit 95, right. Get down there to take on the Hurricanes of Hardeeville. Coach Crosby, we appreciate it, man. Go take a rest. All those points y'all scored tonight, and then get back to that mentally tough practice on Monday.
You're right, man. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thank you for what y'all do for football, high school football in South Carolina.
Appreciate you. Thank you for what you're doing and scoring points like y'all are. Coach Crosby with the Bamberg Earhart Red Devils tonight. We appreciate him giving us a shout, and we're looking forward to hearing from Coach Nicholas Pelham and a few others. If you are at a game, if you've been at a game, and you've withstood the rain and the storms, congratulations. We want to hear from you, 803-404-6100. Got a lot of final scores starting to trickle through here. We remind you that Gray took down North Augusta tonight, and a big-time win for Gray to give them a leg up in that region race that, again, North Augusta had a stranglehold on it all last season, finished the season undefeated, and took that one to the barn early on. Final score from the upstate, Dorman 33, Burns 21. I said this at the beginning of the program. If Dorman can hang around in this ball game and make it, and not even make it ugly, not even muddy the game up, but just be there at the end of the first half, you like their odds. They were up by 2 scores just at several points in this ball game. Burns trying to battle back and couldn't do it. A 3-2 overall record now for Burns. They dropped to 1-1 in region play. But Dorman moves to 2-0 in region play and now 4-1 on the season. So you got to like where you are if you're a Dorman Cavalier, because, whoo, buddy, you are putting yourself in position. Daniel, final score, they beat Seneca tonight, 27-16. How about this? Vertex PT Specialist comeback alert candidate and possibly winner tonight is the Daniel Lions. 8th straight win over the Seneca Bobcats, but they had to score 27 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. They were down 16-0 in the fourth quarter and got 27 unanswered to win that ball game 27-16 over Seneca. I'm looking for a few more here. By the way, that touchdown did count for Virginia. It's now 35-35, but Virginia trying to make something happen. With a tie ball game and 18 seconds left, still 2 timeouts. They got plenty of time. Final score from Greenwood. They turned the lights back on, and Greenwood won 24-20. And looking at the stats here from our buddy Bill, the statistician, Greenwood gained 340 yards of total offense. They surrendered only 70 yards rushing. There's your magic number. 70 yards rushing surrendered for Greenwood tonight. They kept the opposition under 100. They had 163 rushing yards themselves, and they were able to get the win tonight over Hillcrest. They did have 100 yards in penalties, 9 penalties for Greenwood tonight. Just looking at Tristan Lewis, he ran the ball, quarterback Tristan Lewis, ran the ball 27 times for 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also threw 11 completions out of 25 attempts for $173 and a touchdown as well. So again, a masterful performance from Tristan Lewis, again committed to the Gamecocks, and the Greenwood Eagles defeat the Hillcrest Rams by a score of 24-20 tonight over in Greenwood as they finally got the lights turned back on at Greenwood. Let's see what else we've got rolling along here. Looking for a few more scores as we move ahead. By the way, I think Virginia turned the ball over on that drive.
They did, but we're going to overtime.
I was looking at the scoreboard, and I looked up, and Florida State suddenly had the ball.
See, we got really scared. I forget our boy Chris, who's the security guard out here, big Florida State fan, watched the game, and he's yelling. And I'm like, oh, the security guard's yelling. That's not good. So Terry, who's in here with me, goes out there to check on him, and I hear him go, Florida State, Virginia going to overtime. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a big Florida State guy and a big Irmo guy, too. So we've made his night on a couple of occasions.
Big
and he
night for
told me,
Chris.
hey, check with Chris. I was here before you were.
Yeah.
Score. But we were talking, and he said, listen, watch out for Virginia. Whenever Florida State's got a really good ball club, Virginia typically plays them really tough and ends up springing an upset. He knows ball. Chris knows ball.
He does. That was my underdog pick for the week in college. It's a tricky game. It's a tricky game. It's a good Virginia team.
By the way, I don't know if you heard me because I know you were talking to Terry. Daniel beat Seneca 27-16.
Oh.
Daniel was down 16-0 in the fourth quarter.
Shoe-in for Vertex PT Specialist.
27 points unanswered to win 27-16. No doubt about that. That is how do you do that? By the way, these two teams, Florida State and Virginia, have combined for almost 1,000 yards of offense tonight.
You like points? I like yards.
I like points. I like yards.
This game has everything.
I would have liked to see Florida State go for 2 in the win there, if you want me to be honest.
Well, if you're the better team, that's what you should do.
That's what you should do.
Put the ball in your hands.
But if you're getting out-coached for the majority of the game. Hartsville,
yes.
Remember, what do we say in this program? What do we say?
Walk into Kellytown.
And expect to come out with a win. Hartsville 27, Wilson 21.
Oh, another comeback. Not to the same Vertex PT Specialist comeback of the night level that we just saw with Daniel and Seneca.
No, not 27 unanswered points.
No, not 27 unanswered points, but it looked like Wilson, the W in Wilson, was going to stand for walking into Kellytown and winning. And I guess that narrative has changed.
That did not happen. Yeah, an update on your Reds?
Bottom ninth, Reds are up 3-1, 1 out. Sal Frelick up to bat right now.
I'm not a huge Sal Frelick fan.
And Sal Frelick popped up to the shortstop.
Look at you.
2 outs.
2 outs.
Oh, buddy.
Base is empty?
Base is empty.
Look at you. I miss when my team was in the hunt for October. Gaffney leads Spartanburg 28-21. That one is a minute 36 to go in the fourth quarter. Spartanburg just scored.
Oh, so they're going to onside kick city. Yep. This is a big win for Gaffney. It's been
a rough year.
Murphy's Law year for Gaffney.
Hey, but what do we know about Gaffney?
No such thing as a normal game played.
Not at all.
They don't do that.
That'd be a waste of time up there, in my opinion. Baptist Hill beats First Baptist 20-7. A lot of Baptisting happening in that ball game.
We are in the South.
Baptist Hill beats First Baptist 20-7. That's a final score. And if you're interested, I'm just scrolling across a really cool light show promo vid for the Gamecocks tomorrow. Check that out on Twitter. It's interesting.
Reds won 3-1.
Reds won 3. Congratulations, Mr. Campbell.
Oh, it's 2 more left. 2 more left.
Do they play tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon?
Oh, let's see.
I know what he'll be watching in the press box if it's a night game.
If they put it on TV, they don't put any of their games on TV, and I'm not paying for MLB.TV, I'll tell you that much. Let's see. The schedule tomorrow night. It is going to be... Oh, no, it is on Fox, 7:15.
Wow. Are you doing anything tomorrow around 7 o'clock and 7 o'clock hour?
Yeah, you could say I am.
Oh.
That YouTube TV quad box is going to come in very important on this laptop. That is for sure. If the Marlins can just give me one more tomorrow.
Hey, listen.
All I'm asking is the Marlins to give me one more tomorrow.
Take it from me who has lived this. If you need the Mets to lose a game to get you in the playoffs, they'll probably handle it.
They'll probably do it. Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. We'll come back. We got to run through a final look at the scoreboard. We got to officially award our comeback of the night, Honda of Columbia Drive of the Week, and our on the field LA Faith Fighter of the Night. All of that coming in the final 30 minutes of this program. How are we going to do it? We'll find out next on The Game. Welcome back into the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission, powered by Village Idiot Pizza. On the game, Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell. It is 38-35. Virginia trailing. A touchdown wins it. A field goal ties it, and we go to double overtime. Oh, but Virginia's going to have to kick a field goal on 4th and 7 to try to keep the game alive. We will see if they do it. But as we're checking here, most of these games in the state of South Carolina are going final, and I have to report this from Bob Nightingale. The Cincinnati Reds are now in control of the final NL wildcard race, and they control their fate with a 3-1 victory over Milwaukee. Their magic number, 2. It's 2 to eliminate the Mets. It's just 1 to eliminate the Diamondbacks, per Bob Nightingale.
Oh, boy.
Did they just call a timeout? Did Florida State just ice the kicker?
Yes, they did.
Did he get a kickoff or no?
I couldn't tell.
I was looking at my screen.
Might have got to practice swinging.
Okay. Just a practice kick? That's good. Make him think about it a little bit. I just want to say this because Tony Elliott is doing a great job at Virginia. Virginia is not an easy place to win in any sport. There's a reason why Coach Bennett just walked away right before a season. I mean, it's not an easy place to go win, and one could argue that should have been DPI.
That's egregious.
That's defensive pass.
That is egregious.
But now Will Bettridge, he's 18 for 20 in between the 30 and 40-yard attempt marker. He needs to make this field goal to get us to a double overtime against Florida State, and he nails it.
Nails, man.
Ice in his veins. Look at him. Look at him. I don't even care. I'm not going to strut. I'm supposed to make that kick. We're going to 2. Give me 2-point conversion attempts for the rest of the night for Florida State to lose. I'll take it. I'll take that all day, twice on Sunday. I want it. Give it to me. Typical Gaffney fashion, Gaffney defeats Spartanburg 28-21 tonight. Gaffney improves to 3-2, and they travel to Eastside next week. That's the final score there. So, yes, after the Reds win and the Mets lost, the Reds are now in control of the third wild card spot. They own the tiebreaker. Their magic number to clinch their first postseason berth since 2020 is just 2. But we have 2, count them, 1, 2, legends. Did I just say that? I think I did. On the phone lines. I meant it. I said it with my chest. Let's go to Uncle Lou Bajak first, who is on the line with us. Lou, I ashamedly, I did not get to hear you with Elijah and Preston and Jen this morning. So I need to know where exactly you were tonight.
Great Collegiate in North Augusta.
And I believe Chris was in the same spot. But you were on the line first. So look at you. You get the win. I told Elijah I'm not shocked by the result necessarily. I mean, North Augusta is a really good ball club. I am a little shocked by how it transpired and just the margin of victory. Am I off base on that?
No, definitely, especially with North Augusta coming in, big offensive line and defensive line. They look like a team. One coming off the bus and definitely had their way early in the first half. Mike Doe is just the real deal. One of the best running backs in the state. Rushed for over 300 yards a night. Had 240, I think, in the first half. But Gray was able to get a couple stops. They got a touchdown right before halftime and made it 20-17. And then they scored on the first 3 possessions in the third quarter. And we saw the birth of a guy to watch in the future. Freshman Xavier Wright, quarterback for Gray, who was subbing for injured Tyler Waller, comes in and throws 5 touchdown passes tonight. He was amazing, over 300 yards, and just a heck of a performance by a kid making his second varsity start.
Is it the year of the backup quarterback in that way? I mean, we've been talking a lot about Ashton Chapman at Ridgeview, and they got another win tonight over Westwood. They kind of ran the ball all over them. But there's another example of a team that the backup quarterback comes in due to injury, and it's just like the offense not only doesn't miss a beat, Lou, but it seemingly gets better when the next guy comes in.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's something when you see a freshman, you don't know how he's going to respond and that. But talking to him afterwards, I could see why Coach Bryan and his coaching staff loves him. He's calm and poised, and they trusted him to make some big plays. They're up 2 touchdowns late, but they let him throw the ball, and he was able to pick up a couple first downs, and they were able to run the clock out. Or at least run the clock down, and just a heck of a performance. And we'll see what they do going forward. Waller should be back, but it's going to be hard to take him out of the lineup, so we'll see what happens.
No doubt about that. I want to get your thoughts really quick. Camden took care of Dreer tonight, 43-0, shut them out, but they get South Point next week. Is that an early – I don't have the schedule right in front of me, but I feel like that's going to be a top contender for Game of the Week.
One of them, yeah, I think so. That definitely will be one to watch for sure. So it's gonna big test for Camden. I mean, we saw what they did, what South Point did to AC Flora, and so they're gonna have to play good. And I mean, being on grass maybe slow them down a little bit, but they're gonna have to be physical and have an answer for Jasavion Currents, especially on offense.
And last question for you, Lou, your Steelers are off of American soil this week. How are you feeling about that matchup against the Vikings? on Sunday?
I'm liking it. Just hopefully their defense will show up. Their defense showed up last week. They gave up a ton of yards, but forced 5 turnovers, 2 in the red zone. So hopefully they can. Aaron Rodgers will wait to start drinking the Guinness until he gets on the plane. Because luckily they just landed, I think, in the morning today, and not a lot of time for sightseeing. But hopefully they're ready to go and against Carson Wentz, which those Irish fans probably love. The bearded man, they probably think he's one of their own. So
probably so. Lou, we appreciate it. Best of luck to your Steelers, and hopefully we'll be talking with you about another great Friday night of high school action next Friday night.
All right, guys. Thank you.
That's Lou Bajak from the State Newspaper. We go now to Chris Deering, who joins us Prep Red Zone. And, Chris, you were also at Gray and North Augusta. So, again, I'll pose the same question to you that I did to Lou. I'm not surprised by the outcome with Gray getting the win. I am very shocked by the margin and how we got to that point, especially after the first half that Mike Doe had for North Augusta.
Yeah, really great performance by Gray Collegiate in the second half. You know, they got a couple of turnovers. They were able to turn those into points, and Lou hit it on the head about the freshman quarterback. He didn't really give you much numbers. He was about 350, I think, passing through the air, but he had a 91-yard touchdown pass to Corey Gleaton, a 50-yard touchdown pass to Corey Gleaton, and a 50-yard touchdown pass to Royce Williamson. And I honestly think Gray Collegiate could have thrown it down the middle of the field all night long, and North Augusta would have never stopped it because the safeties were drifting to the sidelines on every snap, and the middle of the field was wide open all night. And they exploited it, and that's a great job by Gray Collegiate, a great win, a top 10 win, puts them in the driver's seat in that region. So, you know, a lot of football left to play, but they're in a pretty good spot right now.
I was about to say, for a lot of teams and a lot of region races, we're now talking about putting yourself in a driver's seat in a region, and this was the swing game for both of these teams, with Gray already having the win over Midland Valley and North Augusta already having a leg up in the region as well, with I believe a 2-0 record. This region has got a lot of teams in it. I don't know how much quality depth there is in this region, but for Gray to have this win over North Augusta, as long as they don't shoot themselves in the foot, they got to be feeling good heading into the month of October.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, they beat Midland Valley last week, North Augusta this week. That's probably the top 3 teams in this region. Yep. Gilbert's a little bit down with their quarterback situation. BC and Airport a little bit down. So I think this is a big win for Gray. Again, it's hard to believe you're talking late September and you talk about being in the driver's seat already, but that's where they are, and great job by that coaching staff, and I think they got a star in the making in Xavier Wright.
Yeah, I was asking Lou this question too, and I'll get you weigh in here before we let you go. It seems like it's the year of the backup quarterback, Chris. I mean, I mentioned Ridgeview's situation with Trey Howard going down and Ashton Chapman. That's probably your most notable one here in the Midlands, and I'm sure there are others around the state where guys just taking a next man up mentality, and the team turns out to be just as good, if not even better, than they were with the starter in. You look at Ridgeview, you look up at what Gaffney's doing, you look at what South Point's doing. I got examples all over the place right now that we're really seeing guys rally around that second guy.
Yeah, add another school to the list. Somerville's doing the same thing. They started a different quarterback at the beginning of the year. They went to the backup, and these kids can play, and I guess they just need an opportunity to show what they can do, and they've made the most of it, and that's all you can ask for. It is a lot of backup quarterbacks are playing really well, and I think that's a little bit unusual, but it's a good thing to see. I hadn't seen the Chapman kid yet, other than the game that was on TV against Dutch Fork. I was able to do a little bit of that in a couple weeks, but yeah, it's been the year of the backup, and that's unusual for us to see in this area.
No question about that. Chris, we appreciate it. Final show of the month of September, and now we get to the month that we all look forward to, the month of October, where we start to see everything move into position, and we start to talk about playoffs and region champs and seeding, and then we get ourselves set for the first round to start the month of November. We appreciate it, man. Look forward to talking with you next week.
All right, sounds good. You guys have a great weekend.
You too. That's Chris Deering, Prep Red Zone. We will come back on the other side. Final segment of the program. We got to get to Coach Nick Pelham. We got to get to Bill from Greenwood. We got to get a check of the scoreboard and do a lot of stuff in the final few minutes of this program. We'll do it all next on The Game. All right. This is where we become true professionals right here. Final few minutes of the high school scoreboard show presented by Cottman Transmission.
Crunch time.
On the game. Let's go first to Coach Nicholas Pelham of the victorious White Knoll Timberwolves. Another game in the Low Country, Coach, and another win for the T-Wolves.
Yes, sir. It was a great night. Big win. Played really hard. I don't want to take up everybody's time. We got to get the bills from Greenwood.
That's you got a good point. One final question for you, Coach. How are you feeling about your team going into region play next week? Obviously, this is a tough region. A lot of great teams in this region along with you guys. Just assess your team and where you think you stand heading into the region play.
Yes, we start with River Bluff. That's the only game that matters to us. We got a lot of feelings about what happened last year, and that stayed with us for 357 days, or whatever it was. So we've been circling that game. We're ready for it. I really think we're coming to our own on offense. I think our blocking's going really well. We're really going to stretch well. Our pass protection was excellent tonight. Our quarterbacks played well tonight. And our defense is finally coming along and tackling well. And I looked at my call sheet tonight on defense, and I thought, oh, my gosh, I put in way too much stuff this week. But our guys executed, and they were challenged by how much we can run, and it was pretty exciting to watch. We played really well on defense.
Coach Pelham, we appreciate it. You guys have a big matchup next week. We look forward to following along and talking with you next week after another win.
Yes, if I could just take 30 more seconds. We had a young man get injured tonight. I just want to say thanks to Coach Sheila Gordon and her staff for making sure they took care and great care for him. And thank you to all the athletic trainers out there across our state and across our country. I mean, as parents, we're very appreciative when professionals can take care of our young men and our young people. I just want to say thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Couldn't say it better
100%.
myself. Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it as always. Let's go now to Bill. Let's go now to Bill from Greenwood. Coach Pelham was very gracious. Bill, we just got a few seconds with you. Another big win. The key stat here tonight is Greenwood kept Hillcrest to under 100 yards rushing.
Yes, they did.
And in doing so, you see Tristan Lewis have another dynamic performance offensively for you guys. They get you back in the win column in region. Now you're sitting at 1-1.
Yep, and he played defense tonight too. About 5 snaps on defense.
Great
also.
day. So basically doing it all for you guys.
Yes, and shout out to Coach White. No, I hope the players heals up all right. You know, everything's okay with him. So I don't know exactly what happened or anything. So, but another shout out to the EMS and all the first responders and everybody like that too that take their time to do this.
Absolutely, couldn't agree anymore. Greenwood is trying to get things right after a loss last week, and they appeared to do that pretty well against Hillcrest. Another win for them in that rivalry series over Hillcrest. A great win for them, for Greenwood, and you guys continue rolling. Who y'all got next week?
We go up to Malden. You know, our year schedule this year is home away, home away, home away all year long. So we'll go to Malden.
Going to Malden to take on the Mavs next week, so that'll be a fun game for Greenwood fans for sure.
Yeah, I heard they had an exciting game too up there between Callahan and Malden.
They did. It was a barn burner for sure. So we'll keep an eye on that one next week. Look forward to chatting with you next week, Bill. As always.
Yep. Have a good one. Bye.
You too. Final score in double overtime: the Wahoos of Virginia take down Florida State, 46-38. Elijah's underdog pick hits.
That's right. That's 6.5 points for your boy.
And
take it.
That Miami game got a little bit of shine knocked off of it, didn't it?
It did.
Tonight. And how about Virginia? 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
Hey-o.
Don't look now. They scored a lot of points. That's a well-coached team.
You all need to be in the top 2 of the league to make that championship game.
And that loss to NC State, technically not a conference game.
There you go.
Really
Look
dumb.
at you. Really dumb. Really dumb. All right, so number 1, our Vertex PT specialist comeback of the night goes to Daniel. They were down 16-0 in the fourth quarter against Seneca. They scored 27 unanswered points. They win 27-16.
27 unanswered in the fourth quarter. Talk about locking in.
It's four touchdowns.
It's like the meme where the guy's playing the video games and he's leaned back in his chair and then the fourth quarter happens and he sits up. Gets a little closer to the screen.
I can say that happens. By the way, that's Virginia's 4th win when unranked in 50 games versus top 10 opponents, and 3 of them have been against Florida State.
Unbelievable.
In 95, 05, and 2025.
I'm noticing a trend here. They just took a break in 2015.
Look out for 2035. That's all I'm saying.
History has a funny way of repeating itself.
Doesn't it? All right, we do have. Let's go ahead and hit the Honda of Columbia Drive of the Week, and then we need to have a discussion about who it's going to be.
The Drive of the Week, sponsored by Honda of Columbia.
I don't know off the top of my head who it's going to be.
Oh, I know what it is. Heathwood Hall.
There it is. Yes.
Scoring a touchdown with 57 seconds left. Coach says, you know what? Why go for the tie when I can go for the win? Puts up the 2 fingers, runs the play, gets in the end zone. Heathwood Hall knocks off Porter Gow, 22-21.
Look at you. That's a good win. That's a good one. That's a good pick. We need to effort our LA Faith Fighter of the Night off the field. A lot of great performances.
I'm thinking late stage candidate, Royce Wilson. Great collegiate, one of the more impressive wins of the night, doing it both sides of the ball. Big interception late in the game to seal it against a really good North Augusta team.
I like that. Let's put that in the hopper, and you'll find out on social media what we do with that. The Twitter handle is @JustinB Hall if you'd like to find out more about that. We're going to have to do a different look at the scoreboard here because it's definitely going to have to be a Midland scoreboard because, oh boy, we are
lacking.
We are lacking, and we are in the final mere moments of this program. White Knoll wins 40-0. over Fort Dorchester. Oh, there it is for the first time tonight. Ridgeview defeats Westwood 46-8. Midland Valley dispatches of Brooklyn Casey 34-7. Airport falls 28-15 to South Aiken on homecoming. Camden wins 43-0 over Dreer. Northwood Academy defeats Hammond 23-10.
Wow.
Swansea 36.
Upset of the night.
Swansea 36, Columbia 6. Craig Collegiate 41-27 winners over North Augusta. The Cyclones of Chester defeat the William Jefferson Keenan Raiders 35-6. Crestwood over Lower Richland 27-14. Blythewood blanks Spring Valley 46-0. Gilbert over Aiken 30-13. Sumter scored 57. They beat Lugoff Elgin 57-42. Newberry over Saluda 35-7. North Central over Buford 42-0. And Trinity Collegiate over Northside Christian 27-0. Tomorrow night, 7:45 on the SEC Network, but you can hear it here on the radio, as God intended.
That's right here on the game.
The Gamecocks are 2-2. They host the Kentucky Wildcats in Williams-Brice Stadium. I don't know what the line is because I haven't looked at it all week because I don't need to. Give me the Gamecocks 23-16.
Ooh, okay. Right at the spread. Yeah, sounds good.
I think that's going to be the case. I'm looking to go 6-0 as a spectator in Williams-Brice Stadium
The most important stat right there. I got South Carolina winning 27-19. Kentucky kicking a lot of field goals.
I've only seen the Gamecocks lose twice in Williams-Brice.
Both in a professional manner.
Kentucky and Clemson.
So they do pretty well.
And only three times overall, by the way.
When Justin Hall is ITH, they do pretty well.
They do. Enjoy your college football Saturday. It's the best Saturday of the season so far. And this was a great high school scoreboard show tonight as well. For Elijah Campbell, for Cale Wilson, I'm Justin Hall. We will talk to you guys next week as we start the month of October on the High School Scoreboard Show presented by Cottman Transmission on the Game.